the road. Okay.
Go for you.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Interviewing Humanity. Today, we're not talking to an influencer, a politician, or a so-called expert. We're sitting down with somebody who's been doing the real work, quietly, steadily for years. Casper here is a 44-year-old UPS worker in Kentucky, been housed for about 15 years, but like millions of working-class people in this country, he's still living paycheck to paycheck, grinding through a system that demands more than and gives less. In a country obsessed with bootstraps and success stories, we're going to talk about the truth most folks don't want to hear. That surviving is a full-time job. That making it doesn't always mean you're free, and that even stability can be a trap if you're always one misstep from falling back into the pit. So let's start where you are now, bud. You've been housed for 15 years. Can you paint a picture of what that stability looks like for someone working a job like yours?
Well, right now, to be honest, if it wasn't for my wife, we would not be in the apartment we are now.
Really?
Um, yeah, it's kind of it's a one bedroom apartment. It's very small. But we make do. It's my wife and myself, our two cats, and we make do. She's a manager at Speedway, and I work at UPS, and we do what we can.
Okay.
Uh,
Um,
it's
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's not very easy for us, but again, we make do.
Yeah, absolutely. So what does your daily grind look like at UPS?
Oh, well, about that. Well, apparently UPS thinks that we are all robots, and should load as many packages as we can into trailers or unload them and onto a conveyor, and does not realize that we're not freaking robots. Although we still do it anyway.
Okay.
It sucks and it hurts. But everyone does everything that they can do, and like they say, just make it steady.
Yeah. So do you ever feel like you actually made it out of homelessness, or is it more just like survival with walls?
Oh yeah, like you just said, survival with walls. Although, like with the walls, I'm glad I had walls.
Yeah. So what did it take to get into stable housing in the first place?
Well, when I was homeless, I well, if you wouldn't mind, let me kind of backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I became homeless, I trusted someone, I left with someone, and I should not have, and I screwed up my life. And when I finally came back to the home that I thought I had, I was put onto the street. I went to a labor ready, and they understood my situation, and I was given all the hours I needed, and I was able to, within roughly 11 days, I had roughly about 110 hours total within 11 days. I put myself into a home, and I moved on from there.
Okay.
Um, I did what I had to do, and I needed to.
Okay.
I had
Well,
to.
before the past 15 years, what was your life like? Did you ever face housing insecurities or any other kinds of struggles?
Well, I had not really. I had I would say a good mom, but I, I had a good dad that he worked his butt off, and he provided for all of this, and he made sure that we had everything we needed, and he showed me the ropes of what he did.
Okay. So I take it there weren't any moments where you felt completely alone in doing what you're doing?
Oh, there's many moments where I thought I was alone, but that's a whole different topic.
Okay.
But he did construction, and he wanted me to follow in his footsteps, and I really didn't want to do construction, so I went a different path.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think helped you push through all that?
Um, Honestly, in the beginning, a uh, a really drive to be someone different.
Okay. So I've noticed that people think that once you're housed, the struggle ends. So what's the reality of trying to stay stable in the current economy?
Oh, wow. Well, in this economy, it is really hard. One person cannot do it. You have to have either two people, either a couple or one or two several roommates.
Okay. And what's changed at UPS over the years? Do you feel like you're valued at your work?
Oh no, UPS is a constant has a constant turnover rate. Now they say that you are valued well, while you are really not. You're not valued at all. We used to have every Wednesday is called a Wellness Wednesday, where they
Mm-hmm.
gave fruits, snacks, whatnots. Um, but we have not had that since December.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It is what it is, you know, because they're putting in a new conveyor system, which is taking more jobs from other people. But hey, you know, as long as UPS makes more money, then it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to choose between bills and basic needs while you're working there?
Oh, every time,
Yeah.
every day. Actually, every week. My wife has gotten sick, and my wife got sick, and she has actually not worked for a while. And I don't make much at UPS because I work part time. It's part time
Okay.
hours, and every bit of my money, except for like a small portion, um, goes to nothing but bills. The small portion goes to nothing but feeding us and our cats.
Okay. How many cats you got?
Oh, two.
Ah, sweet.
I know.
So do you
They're
feel like you
adorable.
have room to dream at all, or is all your energy just going into staying afloat?
Nothing but staying afloat. Nothing but staying
Okay.
afloat. Now,
Okay.
dreams have been crushed at EPS.
Okay. Fair enough. So what's the emotional toil of being in the cycle for so long? Clocking in, doing a job, keeping a roof over your head, repeat for what seems like no gain, no future.
Well, in all honesty, every day when I go to get ready for work, um, I know when I have to get ready. I go. An hour before I have to before I have to leave. I dread it, and I do it 15 minutes before I have to leave. I have to put in my shoes or my boots, and I want to cry every day, and I don't because my wife's watching me. She's my rock.
Yeah.
Extra strong for her, and but I do it anyway, and but I do it anyway, and every day. Everyone that I work with too, we're like, we just want to go home. We don't want to do this. We want to go home. Um, hurts.
Yeah.
It's physical. It's mentally draining. We have supervisors that yell at us. We're not being fast enough. We're not doing what they want, what they need to do.
Yeah.
It's draining. And then at the end of at the end of the week, we get told end quote, how we could be better. And
Yeah.
I end up walking away real quick before I get told anything.
How do you handle the stress or burnout of all that?
I handle it with kid gloves. I just take it. Yeah, yes, I accept it, and it, it's a paycheck.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's a
You ever
paycheck.
you ever feel like you're losing bits of yourself to the routine?
Oh, I lost myself a long time ago.
Huh.
A long time ago.
What do you
I've
think
been
it'll
at
take to
UPS.
get you back?
A new job.
Okay. Okay. What's one thing you wish people knew about men like you, the quiet workers who keep the world turning?
Strive for better. You know your self-worth, you know what you can do, and go for it. Keep the job you have, look for better, pick and choose. When you find one, apply. If you don't get it, hey, keep moving on. If you get it, done. Then put in your 2 weeks, because just in case it doesn't work out, you can always go back
You know,
to help.
so if you didn't have to, if you didn't have to work just to survive, if money weren't the issue, what would your life look like?
Beautiful. It would be beautiful. My wife and I, and our 2 cats, we would actually have a nice home. Um, we would be able to do. One thing that I miss doing with my wife is we used to go for walks in the evening. I miss that, but because my job, I can't.
So that's probably something you'd pick back up again if you could. Do you ever believe the
Yeah,
systems
absolutely.
were designed for folks like you to thrive?
No, the system is designed for people like me to fail.
Okay.
Hardcore
And
fail.
what would you want for the next generation that's coming up behind us?
If I could tell my kids anything, and I've told them many times, because I'm 44. I've told them many times, pick and choose your jobs. You have the time. Find what's work. Find a job. Take the first job, and then look for something better. Take your time. Find what works best for you, and then go for that job. If you don't get it, look for the next job. If you get it,
Yeah.
go for that job. Now, before you get that job, put in your 2 weeks, because if it doesn't work out in that job, you have that horrid job to fall back on, and just keep going.
Okay. And what does home mean to you now after 15 years?
Home is my wife. She's my rock. She's everything that I wish I had in my childhood.
Okay. Well, those of you who are listening, Casper's story is a reminder that stability is not the same as safety. Being housed does not mean that you're not under threat by inflation, medical debt, burnout, or the next pink slip. We keep telling workers and working people to be grateful, to hustle harder, to prove their worth. But the truth is, folks like Casper already have, every day, for 15 years. The question isn't whether Casper's earned peace, because he has. And it's why a system that demands so much gives so little. So, to the UPS drivers, warehouse workers, janitors, nurses, line cooks, and delivery folks out there, you're not invisible. We do appreciate you. You're not background noise. You are the machine. And one day when you stop, maybe the whole thing will too. I'm going to pull up the discussion. And thank you for letting me give you an interview, man. I really appreciate you.
Not gonna lie, I appreciate everything you just said.
No worries.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no
Thank
worries,
you.
buddy. Okay. Pull up this discussion really quick. Okay. So today's episode is about mutual aid and why we need it before big things start to happen here in the near future. Welcome again to Interviewing Humanity. As always, I'm your host, Sledge Knuckle. And tonight we're not playing around. This is not a drill, because I need you to stop scrolling and lock in. While the talking heads and political puppets argue over who's to blame for what, we're over here asking one question: who's going to keep us alive when everything breaks down? The answer, like it or not, is us. We are the first responders. We are the supply chain. We are the backup plan. Because if you think the government has a rescue plan with your name on it, I need you to understand you were never on the list. This episode isn't about doom. It's about power. Real power. Community power. Mutual aid. Survival without waiting for permission. We're kicking off an emergency preparedness mutual aid drive, not for next week, not for someday, for right now. Because some of you already feel the radiation of poverty, the fallout of neglect, the sirens of state abandonment. We're not waiting for the bombs to drop. They already have. Wages that won't buy food, power grids that fail in a breeze, disabled folks freezing to death, moms with nothing left in the fridge. That's the collapse. It's here. It's been here for a long time. And here's what else is here. Us. And that's enough. So tonight, we're going to do a little resource drive. We're going to unpack what you need to survive, what you can give, and what it means to build a lifeboat big enough for everybody. So let's get into it. The bare minimum FEMA recommended versus real world needs are vastly different. When you check the official guidelines, you'll see a list that looks manageable. 3 days of food and water, a flashlight, first aid, and radio. But that list doesn't include your medications, backup batteries for your wheelchair, pet supplies, formula, or mental health tools. Most government kits assume you'll be rescued in 72 hours. In reality, disaster zones often wait 5 to 10 days before outside help shows up, if it shows up at all. In Puerto Rico, after Hurricane Maria, people were without aid for weeks. The minimum prep isn't even close to enough to cover that. And when systems fail, they fail exactly the way they were built, to exclude the most vulnerable. That's Black and Indigenous communities, disabled folks, unhoused people, poor families. These groups are always hit hardest and supported last. From New Orleans to Gaza, from the Bronx to Standing Rock, we've seen over and over that disaster relief prioritizes profit over people. That's not a bug in the system. It is how it's designed. Every major government has a continuity plan for itself. Not for you, not for its people. Underground bunkers for officials, evacuation routes for the rich. But your apartment, your encampment, your shelter bed, that's not in the manual. If you want continuity of care, continuity of community, that's something we have to build with our own hands. So I'm going to start off here with Loon. What do you assume will be handed to you in a crisis?
Not much.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
Oh, we're gonna go down the line. I will get to you, buddy. I'll get to you.
Sorry, my bad.
Aries, what are your backup plans if no one shows up in case of a crisis?
I would say my backup plan is currently a plan A that I'm trying to strategize, but at the same time, it's a plan B. It is stocking up on critical resources that I know will be needed in times of need, especially in the possible time that we are currently about to, or possibly about to face, or are already facing at this instant. Not doomsday prepping, but sorry, I'm F1ing in chat. Not doomsday prepping, but definitely getting the most critical of, like, getting seeds and stocking up on beans and rice. And I honestly, this is something that many people in this country may face, is the lack of a backup plan, and are still trying to figure out what our current plan is to create, thus then create a backup plan for in case our current plan falls through.
Okay. Thank you for giving me the rundown. Seeds. What are your backup plans if no one shows up? Are you there, buddy? Seeds. All right, we'll move on to Peaceful. Peaceful, what are your backup plans if no one shows up?
Well, I'm thinking about things like um, you earlier you mentioned you were talking about rice and beans and things, and I was thinking on top of that, water filters would be a good thing to stock up one. And so I'm thinking, like, starting to look into that idea. Right now, I don't really have a backup plan for anything, but, for me, I was thinking like rice, beans, filters for water. Um,
And do you
and
have
definitely
enough of that
seeds.
do you have enough of that for backup?
Right now, I have no backup.
Okay. Okay. I got a couple of friends out in the Baltimore area. I'll see if I can't get a hold of them and try to get you some extra supplies. I still need to get a hold of my friend and see if he'd be willing to help you out with the van too.
That'd be amazing.
Okay. Operator, what are your backup plans if no one shows up in case of a disaster? Oh, let's get him unmuted, Joey.
Honestly, I really
There
don't
you are.
have. I really don't have much of a backup plan. I maybe I have a family member that I could go to, but I don't have a working vehicle right now. Kind of in my driveway that I can't move yet.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if I could get there, yeah, pretty good.
I think I might have some friends in. I
Yes,
might have some folks in Oklahoma that might be able to offer you a hand.
that'd be dope shit. I mean, awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You
my
said
bad.
you're. You said you're where in Oklahoma?
In
Roughly.
Kentucky, actually. Kentucky.
Sorry, Kentucky. My bad.
No,
You
you're
said
Lexington.
whereabouts in Kentucky? Lexington.
Lexington.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can't get somebody. I'll see if I can't get you connected with somebody to get you some assistance out that way. And Lacey,
I'd appreciate that.
what are your plans? Yeah, no problem. What are your backup plans if no one shows up?
Can you hear me? I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Right now I have emergency prep inside my bathroom because I'm in a tornado area. So I have MREs to last at least a week for me and my kids. And then I have cases of water. And we also have buckets inside of the bathroom, and one of the things we do right before a tornado is supposed to hit is we fill up the buckets with water. Other than that, at the new house that we're at, we just started planting tomatoes and stuff like that. But as far as anything else, I mean, not really.
Okay.
There's this plant that I want to buy. It's called a shampoo plant, so that way I'll have something to wash myself with.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
So let's break it down real quick. We're going to talk about building a mutual aid network. So first off, what is mutual aid? Mutual aid is not charity. It's not about rescuing people from above. It's horizontal, not hierarchical. It means anyone and everyone gives what they can and takes what they need. It means we look out for each other without waiting on approval or a tax deduction. It means recognizing that your survival is tied to mine. None of us are safe until all of us are safe. Some examples that have worked with this. So after Hurricane Sandy, anarchist mutual aid groups outpaced FEMA in both speed and effectiveness. In COVID's early days, community pods formed overnight to get medicine and groceries to elders and immunocompromised folks. In Jackson, Mississippi, residents built community wells when the city's water system collapsed. It works because we work, right? It starts small. You pick 3 to 10 people, a group chat, a weekly check-in. What does everyone have? What's missing? What can be pooled? And then you build outwards, block to block, camp to camp, neighborhood to neighborhood. You print flyers, map resources, find who's been left behind and bring them in. No one is disposable. So Loon, who in your circle do you think that you could team up with?
A lot of people actually, because we're kind of going around. You included, I
Mm-hmm.
suppose, since we're kind of already linked up.
Okay. And what about you, Aries? Who in your building or camp or block would you be able to team up with?
I have a few people here locally as well as a few people nationally that I feel as if the situation were to become very severe, if I were to be in communication with them, we could figure out and create a plan for the best possible outcome for everybody.
Okay. And Seeds, are you there? Did you pass out? I think he done passed out. All right. Peaceful. Who in your building, tent, camp, or block do you think you could team up with?
To be quite honest, I don't have a lot of people here right now. I've been looking into some of there's a couple of organizations down over here now that I have come across in my research and reached out to, and trying to get into, find a circle here of people, like-minded people and mutual aid people, and that kind of thing. Because I don't know anyone personally.
Okay. I think my buddy Evan is actually in Baltimore, and he's a mutual aid worker. I'll see if I can't get a hold of him and send him your way.
Thank
And
you.
what about you, operator? Who in your block or building or whatever do you think you could team up with? Oh, let's get you unmuted there, buddy.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not a very social person, but there's like a few neighbors, yeah, that I've had contact with, that we've shared a few things here and there. We've you have this, you have that, back and forth kind of thing, and I'm pretty sure we can really draw our resources together and really survive something.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And what about you, Lacey? Who in your building or on your block do you think you could team up with?
So well, my cousin lives around the corner, and then I have a couple neighbors that we already share stuff. They'll come over, get some sugar. I'll go over, get some rice, sort of a thing. So
Okay. So let's talk about driving resources, shall we? We'll get some feedback here real quick. Hold on a second. That's a little better. Okay. So the top needs that people have are water, shelf-stable foods, clothing, light, first aid kits, hygiene supplies, especially for menstruation and sanitation, over-the-counter medications, sleeping bags, shelter gear like tents and tarps. Also things that people don't think about a whole lot, like baby supplies, pet food, power banks, flash drives, and stuff with key information. And these are things that if you have them and spare, you could donate them to the cause of making sure people are taken care of. And places to drop them off would be local hubs that you and your community identify. Community centers, libraries, shelters, even bus stops or parks can work if you have a pickup and drop off kind of situation arranged. And coordinate with your local mutual aid groups. They exist everywhere. Ask around as to who's already doing the work and give them support. Use social media to track supply availability and update needs. Set up clearly marked weather safe drop boxes as well. If you've got something in your neighborhood that you'd like to contribute to, or you want to get something started in your neighborhood, put up a weather-safe drop box. And when it comes to distribution and safety, you want to protect the dignity and privacy of those receiving aid. Don't require people's names. Don't post photos without consent. Coordinate volunteers to guard and replenish the kits. Think like you're building an underground railroad, not a PR stunt. People's lives are in your hands. So I'll start off with Lacey on this one. What do you happen to have too much of?
Probably beans. Yeah,
And who do you think you could share that with
started.
today?
A few of my neighbors, I suppose.
Okay.
I started growing the beans recently inside my house, and I didn't realize how much they actually produce until it was already producing.
Yeah, they are prolific.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, operator? What do you have too much of? Let's get you unmuted there, buddy.
Coffee, because I've already shared with my neighbors, and some of my wife's clothes, because I don't have many, but and most of my neighbors are women, and so she's shared many of her clothes, and
Okay.
she has a lot of clothes. Oh my God, she has a lot of clothes.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. And what about you, Peaceful? Is there anything you happen to have too much of?
Oh, I definitely have tons of clothes. I have like a bunch of bags actually in my car that I have to take out tomorrow. I'm clearing everything out, and they were actually. I was going back and forth, like I'd be giving them away, So I still have tons of them. Stuff my daughter grew out of, stuff that just whatever. Stuff that's not even bad, It's like not. Some of it's really nice still. I'm like, okay, well, I can give this away. I have hats, I have like coats, that kind of thing. Blankets, tons of blankets.
Okay. Are you gonna go share that out with the houseless community out there?
Yeah. That's why it was all in my car.
Okay. Fantastic. I mean, not fantastic. You're losing your car, but
No, but yeah,
it's good to get
I
that stuff out to people who need it.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about you, Aries? What do you happen to have too much of?
I happen to have way too many books. I have an overabundance of books because I have this I want to say inquisition to want to acquire as much knowledge as I possibly can. However, I know that there are definitely some desirable information that people are going to need in these times. Especially, I have a book on fire safety and emergency aid that would be useful for other people to acquire this information and knowledge themselves as well.
Have you thought about taking those down to like a library or something and copying all the pages, getting them printed out?
I thank you so much, because I was thinking about how I was going to take pictures of all of these different books, but that seems like a lot more easier of a challenge for me to tackle.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. Okay. And what about you, Loon? What do you happen to have too much of?
Time, maybe?
Fair enough. Who do you think you could share your time with?
I guess the people around me who need it, and I try to, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know how to do much more than what I'm doing right now until certain things change a bit.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll get you educated. So let's talk psychological prep. Your brain is going to go into fight or flight mode as soon as panic sets in. And that's not weakness, that's biology. Just ground yourself, touch something solid, breathe slowly, count 5 things that you see, anchor to a person or a memory, maybe even a mantra. Panic makes it hard to think clearly. You build your mental toolkit now so it's there when shit hits the fan and you actually need it. And not everyone reacts the same, you know. Some go silent, some rage, some freeze. Respect everybody's process. Don't punish people's breakdowns. Don't shame tears. Your neighbor shaking in a blanket is not your enemy. They're your ally trying to stay alive. Create mental health check-ins too, daily or weekly. Use group texts. Designate mental health buddies. Print lists of local counselors, hotlines, and peer support groups. Make space for grief, fear, joy, and confusion, because all feelings are valid when the world's on fire. Lacey, how do you manage stress now? Do you think that could still work with no power?
I run and I cry. And sometimes I curl in a ball and just lay under the blanket until I feel okay to come out.
Yeah. I see that being something to work continuously with no power. What helps you feel less alone?
I don't think I've gotten that far. And it's not to say,
Okay.
just I usually just I've become so accustomed to being alone and having to support myself and not having help from others that like I've just become content with loneliness.
Okay. And what state are you in?
Georgia.
You're in Georgia? I happen to have lots of friends in
Mhm.
Georgia now. If you're interested, I can connect you to some folks.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Operator, how do you manage your stress now? Do you think it could work with no power?
Well, I could manage with no power hard. I would make sure that all my neighbors were okay, especially those with animals. My wife, on the other hand, would go stir crazy because she lives off the internet. I'd be okay. But I would make sure that all my neighbors were okay, especially the elderly, like my neighbor across the way. I'd make sure she was all right. Her and her cat. A young lady next door to me. I would make sure that she has some lung problems, and I would make sure she was okay. I would make sure that people that I know personally were okay, and I'd be all right. I don't need electric. I'm good.
Okay. And what helps you feel less alone when you're struggling to survive?
Oh, my head. Honestly, my head or books.
Okay.
I love to read.
Books are always good. Books are always good. Okay.
They
Well,
are.
thank you for your
They are.
input, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah. Peaceful. My question. How do you manage stress now, specifically with what's going on with you? And do you think that you're going to be able to maintain that management here soon?
Considering I've been managing it, very very well. I mean, I have kind of I do the recluse thing a little bit when I'm breaking down,
Yeah.
and that's even from social media. Like there's time, like lately, there's times where I haven't even been able to get on because you know what I mean. It's just bad news, and you know what I mean. So I try to, manage my time on social media as well. However, looking forward, I have the means, the time, to, you know, pass out things. I have time to, walk around and pass out flyers and all this other stuff. I just need to get myself together. But I feel like the actions, that's what helps with the stress. You know what I'm saying? Like taking actions, is always better than, sitting around and spiraling in my head, right? Because then at least I'm doing something proactive, right, and helping out. So and um, so that's my plan. Like I've been, I have all of this information. All I have to do is print it out, and I have flyers. All I need to do is print them out, and just start, really forming a community, through educating and recruiting. And I don't know what else to say from there because, my life's a little like upside down. So I'm not sure where and how, but you said you have some mutual aid people over here, so that'll be helpful too. So yeah, but so I just feel like just being active, actively participating, will take down that stress a little bit.
Okay. And Seeds is out for the night. Aries, how do you manage stress now? Do you think that could still work without power?
Yes, because the way that I've been managing my stress lately is something that I've been primarily focusing a lot of my time and attention on for myself personally, which is committing to trying to apply therapy in all different means and forms to my coping skills. So that way I can, in the times of high stress or toxic stress, I can better manage my coping skills and find a way of release of all of the pressure and the stress that is burdened with what's currently ongoing in worldly events.
Okay, and what helps you feel less alone during all this?
What helps me feel less alone, I would say at this time, is my animals and my family that I hold near and dear and close to me. Um, Both chosen and my actual uh, familial or my blood, or I'm sorry, F1. Uh, and uh, Keeping them close to me and just checking up on them and making sure that they're all right.
Okay. And Loon, how do you manage stress right now? Do you think that's going to work if there's no power? Not that there's going to be no power here on the bus. We're solar powered, but
Oh, I was gonna say, I guess I'm gonna have to memorize the lyrics to Down by Jay Sean. I don't know what to tell you. I won't be able to get through my day without that.
I mean, there will be days we don't have any internet service, but that's fine.
Yeah, but I'll have it memorized.
And what's been helping you feel less alone during this turn of events globally?
Community, you know? I mean, just the people I'm choosing to keep around and talk to and all that.
Fantastic. So let's get into it about the long haul of the situation, okay? So survival during a crisis is only the beginning. And what we learn through crisis becomes the seed of a new society. The water catchment systems, solar co-ops, community fridges, these aren't emergency gimmicks, they're blueprints for sustainable living. And skill sharing is legitimately future proofing for communities. Teach what you know, learn what you don't. Hold workshops for first aid and gardening, sewing, bike repair, herbalism, conflict resolution. Rotate facilitators, build redundancy. The more people who know how to help, the harder we are to destroy as a species. And long-term resistance, it all starts right here. You know, we aren't just reacting to crisis, we're building immunity to oppression. Every aid station is rebellion. Every shared meal is a strike against starvation economics. Every organized block is one less the system can control. Mutual aid isn't just how we survive, it's how we win all of this. So, Lacey, what can you teach? Oh, she left. What about you, operator? What can you teach? Let's get you out of this mute. Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly, I know small farming, and I know how to hunt and fish and cook.
Okay. And what kind of post-crisis world are you willing to build?
Well, one that will teach all the children and teach everyone how to survive on their own, just in case no one else can help them.
Okay. And thank you very much for that. Peaceful, what can you teach?
I'm actually looking into taking.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be joining Sludgy soon.
Oh, sorry.
Muted.
I am
All
looking
right.
into taking herbalism because I really
Okay.
want to start working on how, learning how to make medicine and, things for ailments. And, we're going to need them because, I know there are so many plants that actually, these medicines are derived from. And, I know aspirin comes from willow trees. And I didn't know that before, but I know that now.
Okay.
So,
Fantastic.
this thing's it's really interesting to me to do that because I know so many people are going to be, so it's something that's worth educating myself and being able to share that knowledge with other people as well.
That's beautiful.
Okay. And what kind of post-crisis world are you willing to build?
I mean, I'm all about the community. I would really like to have, I like the idea of small communities and networking through small communities to help each other, to help other communities. I like the idea of being, because I have services, I can provide time and service, that's one thing I'm good at. I feel like, a community without money, without compliance coupons, and just offering services and doing what we can do to help each other through.
Okay.
Kind of time bank like.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Aries, what can you teach?
I can teach a lot about healthy coping mechanisms, as well as I can help with assisting with how to cook different foods, as well as spirituality. Spirituality is a big thing I can teach.
Okay. And what kind of post-crisis world are you willing to build?
I'm wanting to build a world that is free of judgment and full of love.
Okay. Thank you very much. Loon, what can you teach?
What can I teach?
Mm-hmm.
I guess perspective.
Okay. And what kind of post-crisis world are you willing to build?
I don't know a one-word answer for that, but I guess basically one where things are fair. And I don't mean fair like everyone gets the exact same opportunities and the exact same things. I mean everyone is put at the same level via the opportunities they're afforded.
Okay, I appreciate that. Pixa, I'm not hearing an echo on my side. Pixa, what can you teach? You're muted, honey. You're muted, honey. There you are.
Yep.
Now I hear an
Okay,
echo.
let's see.
You're muted, honey. There you are.
I can teach
Now I hear an echo.
some
You're muted, honey. Hold on.
spirituality,
You're gonna have to back.
some
You're gonna have to back out and come back in,
comparative
honey. You're echoing really
religion.
hard. Oof. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Yeah, Pixa, go ahead and drop out and come back in. You're echoing really hard on your side. Paul, what can you teach, bud?
I guess going with the aspect of trying to be on the physically no, I hate going with calling it physically healthy as if implying that there's implying something, but ways to try to help people with going through physical health things. More on the aspect of going through the physical therapy, going through how to help themselves out with, correcting diet stuff that we need to for, eating trying to help people that way, or at least in understanding their body for medical purposes.
Okay. And what kind of post-crisis world are you willing to build?
I mean, one that's just better for humanity on the end of equity, not equity, but more on equality.
Okay. Thank you for your input, bud. And River, what can you teach?
Hi. I can teach consensus, conflict resolution, nonviolent communication, all that kind of good stuff. And on a fun level, I could teach people circus arts if they want that as well, which, art is always going to be helpful in any kind of world that we're building, I
Following
believe.
you.
Yes,
And
likewise.
what kind of post-crisis world are you willing to build?
A non-hierarchical one, if possible. I'm an
Oh,
anarchist, so that's what honestly
love
drew
that.
me. I saw
Okay.
Peaceful Anarchist. I was like, these seem like my folks. So yeah, and kind of seconding what a lot of people said, like building one with a foundation of love, with intentional mutual living communities, all of that good stuff.
Okay, what state are you in?
I'm in California.
You're in California. Fantastic. I'm in
Mhm.
Oregon right now.
Nice. West Coast.
Yeah. Okay. West Coast, West Coast. Thank you very much. Pixa, back to you. What can you teach?
I can teach spirituality, a bit of comparative religion. I could probably teach literature and possibly more grammar-based English. And I could teach cross-stitch and maybe a little bit of painting.
Fuck, you are just chock full of education. Hell yeah. And what kind of post-crisis world are you willing to build?
I want a world that is more based on compassion and less violence.
You and me both. Oh my God. Well, I appreciate you. So if you've joined us for the first part, you know what we're up against. If this is your first time tuning in, let me make it clear. The system is not built to save you, but your people are. This episode isn't about stockpiling fear, it's about growing power. Because what we build now doesn't just help us survive in a crisis, it helps us outlive the system that has made crisis the norm. Part 1 kicked off the resource drive. Part 2, where we're at now, is about building the long-term net. We're done asking if we'll make it. We're figuring out how we make it together. So let's talk trust. Let's talk pods. Let's talk radical neighborliness. Let's talk about what it takes to build a community you can count on. Not just for a weekend, but for the rest of your life. So first and foremost, why supply drops aren't enough. A pile of gear is only useful if someone knows how to use it and someone else knows how to fix it. Too many efforts stop at collection. That's not mutual aid, that's mutual donation. It doesn't replace the net. It doesn't hold when pressure comes. If you wouldn't let someone watch your kids, would you trust them in a blackout? Trust is infrastructure. If your power's out, your street's blocked. Your neighborhood's underwater. You're going to need people you already know. That means investing in relationships before crisis, which is why we have these conversations. So start your pod. 3 to 10 people, weekly text check-ins. What skills do we have? What's our comms plan if cell towers go down? Where do we meet if we have to evacuate? That's your survival team. So we'll start off with Paul. Who in your life would you trust to make decisions with you under stress?
Honestly, I mean, that's my partner. If you're going at looking at who in my life. But then again, I don't really have that many people in my life directly that I do trust on that level.
Okay. And what does your ideal neighborhood support circle look like?
With that aspect, you're looking at more of a community-driven, like, kind of re-aspecting the definition of family to go back to that aspect of a broader community of people that actually care. The people that actually are, looking at the aspect of, it sounds silly to say it, but I'm not trying to, and by silly, I'm not saying that the concept is, I'm saying, because using what you mentioned earlier, going back to the aspect of neighborly compassion, neighborly, community building.
Yeah.
To the true definition, as opposed to, oh, I recognize that face walking into that building there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, bud. And River, who in your life would you trust to make decisions with you under stress?
Honestly, any of my friends who are neurodivergent, because a lot of them are very good at managing very stressful situations and like crisis conflict. Yeah, so a lot of my closest friends, to be honest.
Fuck, I wish I could follow you twice. Okay. And what does your ideal neighborhood support circle look like?
Oh man, if I could live in the same neighborhood with my friends so that we could cook and clean and like support each other in our mental health episodes, like to take care of each other and help each other with raising kids, honestly, that would be like within a block or two of all those people in my life, that would honestly be my like ideal situation.
Fantastic. That sounds great. Lacey, who in your life would you trust to make decisions with you under stress?
My mom or my sister. We don't live relatively far from one another, within maybe 30 minutes of one another. But as far as like even closer, usually I'm the one who makes all the tough, stressful decisions that other people can't. But my mom raised me in like survival mode though. So
Okay. I recognize what you go through. What does your ideal neighborhood support circle look like?
My ideal neighborhood support circle would be, we'd have a bunch of different people who were capable of different things, like somebody who's good at like agriculture, somebody who's good at fixing things when they're broken, stuff like that. Just people in the community who have different capabilities coming together to help one another.
Okay. Thank you very much. Um, Peaceful. Who in your life would you trust to help make decisions with you under stress?
I am still looking for them.
Okay. And what does your ideal neighborhood support circle look like?
um, actually, same thing that Lacey was just saying. Like that's what I'm looking for. A space where um, everybody just helps each other with whatever they can. You know what I mean? Provides like whatever it may be, like in return for whatever may be needed, and community just taking care of each other. Being it's funny you mentioned who you would trust to be to take care of your kids, to watch your kids, you know.
Yeah.
So it and I want something where the idea of having like being able to walk outside and talk to anybody in my community and already know them, like you know what I mean, like my kids are playing with their kids, and it was like that a little bit when I was younger, certain areas, and I just feel like that would be the best thing.
Okay. Thank you for your input. Operator, let's get you off of mute here. Who in your life would you trust to make decisions with you under stress?
Well, I would trust my wife and myself, and maybe a couple of my neighbors, but mostly my wife, myself.
Okay, and what does your ideal neighborhood support circle look like?
Well, honestly, like Lacey said, the my ideal is people that had different aspects, like again, like Lacey said, someone who knew agriculture, one who knew medicine, um, cooking, so on. Like my wife teaches. Yeah. Uh, uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your input, bud.
Yes, sir.
Loon, who in your life would you trust to make decisions with you under stress?
Most of the people I'm around.
Okay. And what does your ideal neighborhood support circle look like?
A lot of reiteration on the point of somewhere where we all help each other, but also somewhere where everybody belongs in their own way. I think that's the thing
Okay.
I'm most tired of with what we have now is you don't belong no matter how much, you fit or don't fit. You just don't really belong anywhere.
Okay. Thank you for your input. Aries, who in your life would you trust to make decisions with you under stress?
I would say that I don't currently have anyone that I could make decisions under an incredible amount of stress.
Hmm.
I don't have a very big circle where I'm located at. I mainly stick to myself. I'm very hermited, and uh, it's partially it's partially my accountability in taking initiative and reaching out to people as well. So the need to start reaching out and checking in on people and start building that trust. But I would say
Okay.
just mainly myself at this time.
And what does your ideal neighborhood support circle look like?
My uh, Ideally, I would say very similar to what Lacey had mentioned, um, where we have a community that is based on, like, I'm not too certain if this has been mentioned in lives before, but like time banks where people donate each other's time to one another and are in service with one another and committing to performing mutual aid at a regular basis to where it becomes a norm rather than an act of service.
Okay. Okay. I believe I've actually touched on the subject of time banks before. Thank you for bringing that up. Pixa, who in your life would you trust to make decisions with you under stress?
Oh, make decisions with me or for me?
Yeah, with you.
There are maybe 3 people that I would trust. One of them is my mom, and the other 2 are close friends.
Okay. And what does your ideal support neighborhood support circle look like?
Okay. Um, I've thought about this a lot in daydreams, really. Um, and it sounds a little selfish, but my ideal situation would be like a small neighborhood. So like, I could have a house and next door my best friend could have her house, and beside that her friend, and certain number, I don't know, maybe 20 families, 20 houses, something like that, and with a great deal of shared responsibility and shared projects, like a community garden, but with a agreement that everybody who is going to pick from that garden has also put in something, sweat equity or something, and like a community meeting place where everybody can come together and eat and socialize and have a good time.
Okay. Sounds
That's
beautiful.
really what I picture.
Okay. I like that. That's beautiful. So let's talk about mapping people and not just stuff. Who's missing from the map? Most emergency plans ignore elders, disabled people, non-English speakers, undocumented folks, and unhoused neighbors. But these people hold wisdom, skills, and survival experience. They aren't weak links. They're central hubs, and honestly, the strongest I've ever seen in the nation. Community census is important, especially without surveillance. You don't need legal names or addresses. You need info like who uses oxygen tanks, who has spare tools, who has conflict mediation skills, who needs food deliveries in a lockdown. Build a people map, not just a map of where stuff is. And invite people in without pressure. Not everyone wants to be a leader, but most people want to be seen, protected, and useful. Find roles for quiet support, cooks, runners, note takers, calm listeners. The strongest pods are the ones with options. So, Paul, who do you know that usually gets left out of planning?
Usually it's the people who are the unhoused and the people who lack the resources.
Okay. What strengths do you think go overlooked in your community?
Honestly, usually the strengths are the strengths of people who know how to, trying to figure out how to say it. The strengths of how to adapt with what there is, as opposed to, the official procedural. How to MacGyver shit.
Yeah. You for a second. Oh, River. Who do you know that usually gets left out of planning?
I concur with Paul. Like, I definitely think people with the least amount of resources, usually unhoused, poor folks, but also, yeah, disabled folks. I mean, there's a lot of crossover in there, and usually, yeah, I would say those
Okay.
folks, yeah, the most like marginalized.
And what strengths do you think go overlooked in your community?
Like in the community of people that are usually like left out, or just in
And
general.
in your community?
Oh, hmm, I, I guess like I don't know. I guess I would say I don't know. It's just I think like everybody has we all have different experiences and different knowledge sets and different skill sets, and like I think
Yeah.
we're people are so complex with like knowledge about so many different things that unless you ask them or you're in a situation where their skills are presented, you won't know. And so I think that that happens with everybody, that people are often underestimated, especially if they are of a marginalized identity, and or especially like disabled folks, people with what we perceive as resources that are of value, not we necessarily, but society, like having money,
Yeah.
for instance, and they're usually not, yeah, like considering what value people. I mean, everybody has value, right? Every person has value, and even if they didn't, that doesn't make them, less worthy
Invaluable.
of living, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope that answers the question. I kind of went off on a tangent. Apologize.
No worries. Janura, yes, you did miss the intro, but don't worry. Stick around. You'll catch it. Lacey Bell, who do you know that usually gets left out of planning?
Drug addicts.
Mm.
Sorry. Not sure if that
No,
was a lot to be said.
No, that was perfect, actually.
One of the things that people don't consider is the fact that, yeah, they might be struggling, but that doesn't mean that they're not capable. That just means they're going through a lot more and they're not able to handle as much as everyone else. So even giving them a small task like going in a kitchen and helping out with serving food or something small until they're capable of being a little bit better,
Yeah. God, I love you. I'm following you right now. One of the things I do out here is run harm reduction to make sure that people aren't suffering adverse effects from their addictions.
Yeah.
So it's really good to hear from you. So what strengths do you think go overlooked in your community?
I feel like a lot of people where I'm at look at you and they size you up before they actually get to know you. So I feel like most people's strengths, no matter what it is overlooked until they see you physically doing something. They just kind of like think nothing of you. And I've experienced that a lot because people have come out of their apartments and seen me working on my car and being like, "Oh, you know how to work on cars? You'll work on mine." Like, and I'm like, "No." You didn't notice me anytime before this. I don't know why you're talking to me right now.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your input. Operator, let's go ahead and get you off of mute there. Who do you know that usually gets left out of planning? Operator? Did operator fall asleep?
Operator.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and give him a minute. Peaceful. Who do you know that usually gets left out of planning?
Well, definitely the unhoused community, definitely drug addicts, definitely not even unhoused and people with addictions, but also just low income
Okay.
At the people that are like, at the, not quite at the bottom, but close enough to the bottom. You know what I mean? The ones that still need services and still need medications, and are dealing with working every day and not being a paycheck away. Like most of these people aren't going to have a voice either, especially if they're making like minimum wage.
Yeah.
Right.
And what strengths do you think go overlooked in your community?
Mm.
Peaceful.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
Oh, you're good.
I mean, I kind of agree with Lacey on the skill set thing. A lot of people don't really pay attention. Like, I'm the kind of person that says hi to people. I like to start talking to people, and you know what I mean. A lot of people just they do the stare up and down thing. They do the size up. They do the or they just like they look at their phones. Or people don't want to get into conversations. They don't want to know about you. Half the
Yeah.
people that I know that know me don't want to know about me because they're so busy in their own lives that they don't care. So I really think it is what comes to light when people are in need.
Okay. Thank you very much for your input. Welcome back, operator. Who do you know that usually gets left out of planning?
Well, in all honesty, the elderly. My neighbor is elderly, and I love hearing every bit of her gardening tips. I love it. It's beautiful, and I love gardening with her.
Okay. I also believe that the elderly get left out of planning a lot of the times, and especially when it comes to intense survival issues, they're usually the ones that no one even thinks about. No one even thinks about.
Exactly.
What
Exactly.
strengths
They
do you
really
think go
do.
overlooked in your community?
Again, the elderly. Every time anyone who's older than myself has any ideas, I want to listen to them. But of course, the youth does not want to. They think they're better. Their ideas are better. Mind you, now when it comes to technology, sure, yeah, I get it. Yeah, they're great. But when it comes to actual, like say, if there's no electric at all, I will talk to my neighbor hardcore, and I will listen to what she says. She will be my leader hard.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you for your input, buddy. Loon, who do you know that usually gets left out of planning?
I would say married women are a good example. You see a lot of groups where if it's someone who's married and they're both there, like oftentimes the women won't even be addressed. I definitely have experienced this myself. Like I've literally been talking to people, looking them in their face, and they won't look me in the eye because I'm with somebody else, together or not. And it's so much worse with married women, specifically when people know. They defer to her husband.
Okay. And what strengths do you think go overlooked in your community?
I mean, I guess really perspective, honestly. Like, I was in Texas, and a big thing is if you're not saying what people want to hear, then it's an argument. And not the kind where you're discussing what you're arguing about, but the kind where people just start yelling. People don't want to hear perspective.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that 100%. And thank you for your input. Aries, who do you know that usually gets left out of planning?
The children. There's so many children who are going without or are in need, and they're not even being thought of, or not that they're not being thought of, because I know for certain that there are many people out there that are thinking of the children. However, with what is currently going on in this current administration, they're not thinking of the children, and they're taking away from these children.
I would have I will agree with you, but I also have a counter opinion about it. I think they are thinking about the children, just not in any healthy kind of way.
Ew!
I wasn't trying to be gross about it. I was talking more about like labor. They see every person as cattle.
Okay.
Or just like mean when it comes to like queer and trans rights, like as a means for their like agendas.
Fact.
Yep, exactly.
Fact.
Exactly.
Fact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, the biggest problem, they be worrying about too much stuff that they shouldn't be.
Yep.
Fair.
Absolutely.
I am so glad you weren't thinking priest mode.
Yeah, no.
I mean, they also.
I lived through plenty of my own, and I already know that that's going to be like a big factor amongst that whole crowd. But I'm thinking more along the lines of every person that's born is automatically given a product ID number so that they can be a good working cog in the system. Aries, what strengths do you think go overlooked in your community?
Strengths that I think are overlooked in the community. The ability to question. That is a strength.
Ooh.
And that is a strength that people underestimate, because there are some out there, and I'm speaking from experience myself, that were either brought up or brought to a point in their life where they forget how to question. And so being brought to the state in which they can question is like breaking out of a whole different shell and being kind of reborn again, because you get to see every aspect. You get it yeah, just the ability to question.
Preach,
Thank you very much. Hey, operator, just so you know, I do keep muting you just because the ambient background music is kind of messing with my head. You're directly in my ear a little bit.
My apologies.
Hey, no worries, buddy. No worries. I'm gonna throw you on until it's time to come back to you, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Pixa, who do you know that usually gets left out of planning?
People like me and my mom. People like me because I'm disabled. I don't have a job. Therefore, I'm not seen as valuable to society. And my mom, she's disabled and she's older. And people don't want to listen to somebody who's not very rich, who's in their 70s, almost 80.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a big deal. What strengths do you think go overlooked in your community?
Well, in my physical community, I would say most of them. Most people are very much about me and mine and my family and nothing else. People don't talk to each other. People assume the worst of each other.
Yeah.
And that's me included.
Yeah, I see a lot of that too. It's kind of one of the reasons why I like to have these lives, because I feel like having that space where we can just talk and be people together is really important.
It is.
So let's talk about hosting community build nights. Okay. First things first, you got to prep these things without preaching. As we all know, nobody wants to be lectured. People want to feel connected. So turn your resource drive into a block party. Invite neighbors. Share snacks. Trade skills. Build go bags together while listening to music. Make it feel like belonging and not like a drill. Hey, Janera, come on up, buddy. I think you put the request in. You did, yay. Okay. And avoid burnout. Rotate who leads. And avoid hierarchy. Like, let the teenager lead the fire starting demo. Let the elders share herbal knowledge. Let the new parent explain why they pack for babies. When leadership is shared, power is protected in your communities. And make it repeatable, monthly, bi-weekly, tie it to the moon cycle, a shared dinner, craft night. Just keep meeting. consistency is the glue that holds communities together. So, Paul, what's something fun that you could teach your community while preparing together?
Well, I mean, thing I would do is having some. It's gonna sound. I feel like this is gonna sound kind of lame. Shanties,
Love a
like,
shanty.
yeah,
Yeah, dead serious. I love a shanty. And
I
who?
want to know something. What is a shanty?
type of
Go ahead,
song.
buddy.
They are so
So,
like sea shanties. They're
what?
songs that are kind of existent in a way to make. Okay, if you're looking at the function of them, it's kind of a way to make the labor more communal. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like everyone's working together in the system of what it is you're doing. So like on a ship, you have everyone, they're doing the job, but you're also singing at the same time, as an idea of you're having the job of what you're doing a communal act, but you're also having a level of enjoyment with it that's brought up from each other.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So like when I go to the bartenders and all them when they do the karaoke with the customers and stuff like that, and they join in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Building a sense of community. So, Paul, who would you invite if you threw a survival skills night tomorrow?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that part.
Who would you invite if you threw a survival skills night tomorrow?
Well, there are some community that I would have, but I would be inviting, but also I'd be trying to have people who want to know more about, emergency first aid. First off,
Okay.
but people at I want to say the name of name of the local place where we meet, but the people at my local,
Yeah, good OPSEC, by the way.
yeah.
River, what's something fun you could teach your community while preparing together?
I guess what came to mind honestly was food not bombs. Like I love cooking, so like just cooking for a
I fucking love food not bombs.
yeah, for a big group of people and for, you know,
Hmm.
our neighbors and while yeah, kind of discussing all this stuff, I would say. Yeah.
And who would you invite if you threw a survival skills night tomorrow?
I mean, I don't know. I like there's a part of me that wants to be like, oh, just like advertise it to everybody, but then I'm afraid of like, you know, um,
Ops.
yes, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I gotta find some way. So I guess probably starting within like the communities and having maybe spread, you know, word of mouth through like the activists and volunteer folks that I know and different organizations I work with. Probably spreading through word of mouth is probably going to be the safest bet, I would say. But
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Having people to vouch for who's coming to the party is definitely a big thing.
yeah, definitely.
So, Lacey, what's something fun you could teach your community while preparing together?
Something fun. Well, I don't know if anyone else would consider it fun, but I don't know. I don't know what I would teach. I guess I could teach people how to make those bead alligators.
Oh, that's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah.
You had
Oh,
to search for that? That's awesome.
I can make all kinds of stuff with the beads. I've been doing it since I was like a little kid.
Oh, that's fucking
Um,
wonderful.
yeah, and then what was the second question?
The second question is, who would you invite if you threw a survival skills night tomorrow?
Um, there's this girl that's down here where I live, and she's like number one in in hunting and fishing. And
Okay.
if I could get her, like, she wins awards for like just not just the fact that she hunts like the deer and the fish and the bass and stuff like that, but the quality and the size of the deer that she's able to get is what she's awarded for. So she's like really good. And I think that her teaching others how to appropriately track and obtain larger meat sources would be important.
Okay. That's a good person to invite for sure. Look, you got good ideas. Operator, what's something fun you could teach your community while preparing together?
Well, I would actually teach them how to grow their own food and hunt.
Okay. Those are good things to teach for sure. And who would you invite if you threw a survival skills night tomorrow?
Honestly, my daughter and daughter-in-law and my grandson.
Okay. Well, you're a grandpappy at 44?
Almost 45.
Fuck, man. It's okay. I almost became a
Yeah.
grandfather just a couple weeks ago.
Oh man. Hey, it happens,
No, I'm
right?
37, man. I'm not ready for that shit. Hell no.
Oh hell no. Oh man. Oh no. I get that.
Yeah.
Believe me. It's not like, look, I love my grandson. He's almost 8 years old, and I wanted to teach him how to hunt and fish, especially fish,
Fuck yeah.
man. And he loves to build. Oh,
Fuck yeah.
I have a dream. I have a dream of teaching him how to build a car.
Fuck yeah. That's a good skill to have. Thank you
Right?
very much for your input, buddy.
No problem.
Peaceful. What's something you could teach your community while preparing together?
Expressive painting or creativity for mental health purposes. You know, I've heard a lot of things about expressive therapy, and
Okay.
you know, I started researching and looking into that, and how much, you know, sometimes you just put on, it's amazing if you put on some music and you have material, you know, the right stuff around you, you know what I mean, and you just get all of that aggression or sadness or whatever it is, like, that's been balling up, you know, you get it out, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought that it would be something cool. Send people away feeling better, you know.
Okay. And who would you invite if you threw a survival skills night tomorrow?
I have connected with a few organizations here. I was saying before, you know, local organizations, and you know, now I have probably like 4 or 5 of them. So I would probably start there, just because they're, you know, then they would have people as well, you know, that they would be, you know, reach out to and probably bring along, and they have formed a big group of people. Actually, we have a couple of organizations here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, they're all different, but they're all, like, you know, proactive for the city, and you know, and the people.
Fantastic.
I don't
That's
really,
needed.
I don't want to name them off just because, you know.
OPSEC. Well, thank you for your input. Janura, what's something fun you could teach your community while preparing together?
Hey, I don't know if I mentioned this before, host, but I was
Yeah.
a survival skills instructor for about 5 years.
I fucking love you.
And, thank you, appreciate it. I'm out of practice, but I do have some skills under my belt. And honestly, I think that making natural tea
Ooh.
would be something
Yeah.
nice.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know
And
if it's
who would you?
necessarily fun, but
I think that's fun as hell. And who would you invite if you threw a survival skills night tomorrow?
I would invite well, specifically children from the like the inner cities.
Yeah.
They they lack a lot of skills to be self-sufficient in a lot of different ways. But in this particular circumstance, I'm able to actually help, and Where I was a survival skills instructor, I taught mostly children from the inner cities, and they love this stuff. Like a lot of
Yeah.
them have never left the city. They don't know all this stuff, and to see
Yeah.
their eyes like light up, and they get a lot out of it. And plus, they
Yeah.
have a couple of extra skills under their belt.
Fuck yeah. Honestly, I think that's really fucking important, is to make sure that we're educating the youth.
Oh yeah,
And you
it
mentioned
starts
that
with them.
you're a teacher as well.
Yes, yes, I was also a teacher for 5 years.
Fuck yeah. That's, if I threw a survival skills night, I'd invite you. Fuck.
Uh, Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man, of course. Aries, what's something fun you could teach your community while preparing together?
I would say herbology. If not herbology, then pharmacology. Because I have a lot of background in pharmaceuticals. Um, and so I understand that may not be considered fun, but I considered it fun. I was very interested when I was learning about it. However, I don't support big pharma, so I'm trying to find the medicinal herbs to replicate the same effects, but in a more preventative or more preventative and restorative rather
Yeah.
than
Well,
just,
you and I should talk, because I've got a bunch of that information too.
ooh, yes.
Yeah. And who would you invite if you threw a survival skills night tomorrow?
I would invite a few of my local organizations that are nearby, as well as I really like what Janora said, and would invite the youth because I've noticed very similar um, reactions within the youth here in my local area to
Okay.
being out out of the city rather than just being within the city for a long extended period of time.
Fuck yeah. And thank you very much for your input. Pixa, what's something fun you could teach your community while preparing together?
I'm not real sure. I'm not great with a huge group of people. I'm better one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
I could talk about empathy and conflict resolution.
Mm.
But the only people that I could invite would be people that I would have to bring the party to them, and it would kind of have to be their idea. I think that's the only way I could get the people I know to attend.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your input. So let's talk resistance through care. I'm specifically going to start off with mutual aid being an act of defiance. Caring for each other in a world that is built to isolate us is revolutionary. Every meal shared, every ride given, every supply delivered is a rejection of scarcity culture, which is the exact culture that our system perpetuates on a constant basis. And it's a lie. Not everyone needs to know everything. Security culture and trust building is a big deal. Use Signal app, practice need to know info sharing, OPSEC, but don't let paranoia choke your relationships. Balance safety with openness, And of course, as always, protect the protectors. Mutual aid organizers burn out really fast. Build recovery time into your pods. Create backup plans for your backup plans. Let people step away and give them space to return. No one should feel trapped in being helpful. So, Paul, what does safety mean to you? And not just physically, but emotionally and socially.
I mean, the ability to be open, to be the ability to have that time where, you know, when, in that aspect of being in a society that is operating as the current one is, you have to hide a lot of yourself. And that aspect of safety, you have the ability to not only be yourself, your actual self, but also to 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 have that appreciation for it when have the other people around with, a true community where looking at everyone for who they really are.
Okay. Appreciate your input, Bud. River, what does safety mean to you? Not just physically, but emotionally and socially.
The ability to be able to bring up a hurt that I have with someone or people, and them not immediately become defensive and not take accountability. So, and that just, I guess, like, or people in general, just, yeah, like that, slash also my other thought was people who are understanding of trauma responses and triggers, and giving grace and space for that with other people as well.
Okay. Thank you very much for your input. Lacey, what does safety mean to you? Not just physically, but emotionally and socially.
So this brings me back to walking around Walmart the other day. I feel like when you're doing everyday tasks, you shouldn't feel like you're uncomfortable in your surroundings. I got followed around in Walmart by a guy, and it made me feel so uncomfortable. I had to jump into a group of people that I didn't know. One of the things that I think you should feel safe is in your everyday tasks. Emotionally, I feel like you should be able to speak your feelings and not be scrutinized for it. I think that everybody has a perspective, whether or not they're exactly the same. My dad always used to say there's his side, her side, and the truth, right? So I feel like everyone should be able to speak their truth. And as far as spiritually, I feel like everyone should have their own personal belief system and what works for them, and the people that are around me, we are very much like that. We all believe in something different, and we all understand that our personal beliefs are our personal beliefs, and we don't try to push it on one another.
That's beautiful. Thank you for your input. Operator, now that you know how to unmute yourself, hey buddy, what does safety mean to you? Not just physically, but emotionally and socially.
Well, honestly, I agree with Lacey. What she said was a daily basis to go out and do whatever we do, to feel safe, to do what we got to do, and also whatever you believe in. Yeah, you should believe in whatever you believe in. You need to. It's your core. You need to believe in that, and that's you need to. I truly you need to.
Okay. And thank you for your input, buddy. Peaceful. What does safety mean to you? Not just physically, but emotionally and socially.
Unconditional love and community. I feel like everything. I just feel like everybody in my life seems to disappear. Have like a little, I almost feel like a family for a while and then it disappears, and I feel like, I'm the person that will always like provide whatever I can to help as far as, whatever I can do. But it seems like, other people don't seem to look at it the same way as I do, you know. Um, and I just feel like we're so easy. It goes back to both conversations we've said about people being themselves and being able to believe in what they believe and to stand strong on their convictions without being scrutinized or, basically, kicked out of the said community, or family.
Okay. Thank you for your input, buddy. Gennaro, what does safety mean to you? Again, not just physically, but emotionally and socially.
Um, okay. I'm gonna um like add something else onto this.
Okay.
I'm gonna add security because
Okay.
I can feel safe inside of a locked apartment, but what if I'm being evicted? Like that changes the circumstances a little bit more, and that influences your feelings about that.
Yeah.
And I think that safety sh- should always include security. Always. Like, you know, um, I'm sure that everybody in this live will agree with me. There are groups of people that are often targeted,
Mm-hmm.
by people that are supposed to, care about us or protect us. And you might feel safe in your neighborhood, but do you feel secure in your neighborhood? Because you're always aware that that is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Is is your world going to be pulled underneath your feet?
Absolutely.
Safety should always include security.
It definitely should. I agree 100%. And thank you for your input, bud. Joker, I see you down there. I understand I understand dissociative disorders and complex post-traumatic stress. They're things that I suffer with as well. I understand you entirely. Aries, what does safety mean to you, not just physically, but emotionally and socially?
What safety means to me is the ability to lay in bed and get up when you feel ready to get up, not having to worry about this or that, not having to worry about going to work, not having to worry about having to pay bills, not we're having to worry about spending money to survive. It looks like being able to relax in a safe environment in which you can sit down and read a book and finish the book at will because you feel safe in your environment, and the ability to walk outside and not have to worry about being disappeared because of your race or skin color. It
Yeah.
means because MMIP is very real, and that's
Yes, it
something
is.
that I feel strongly extends to the Mexica people as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it does. Thank you for your
And
input.
yes,
Mm-hmm. Pixa, what does safety mean to you, not just physically, but emotionally and socially?
Safety is someone who really takes the time to get to know me and shares my very core values. Um, yeah, And I'm sorry, what was the second part?
Um, it's just a question: what does safety mean to you? Not just physically, but emotionally and socially.
Yeah, people who truly get get to know me and share some of what is important to me. That's what I need for safety and security.
Okay. Thank you very much for your input. And before I move on to the next person, how do you think you can support someone who's doing community work without burning them out?
Help with delegation or organization, assigning tasks to different people so it's not all on one person.
Okay. I like the sound of that. As a community worker, it's nice to have some folks there to help take over when I need a break. I have not had that yet. Joker, go ahead and come on up. Aries, how can you support someone who's doing community work without burning them out?
By being an emotional support for them. And how you can do that is by being there to uplift them in their time of need, in their time of starting, like listening to them when they first express signs or symptoms of burnout, and being there to help utilize coping mechanisms such as healthy distractions or uh, painting or crafts or uh, doing things that you know will bring them joy and enlightenment in that time before they do burn out. Or they're
Absolutely.
not, but that's what we're trying to prevent.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are great ideas. Janura, how can you support someone doing community work without burning them out?
You know, um, this is a very tough question for me because I don't actually know. Like, when I was a teacher, every school year, like the beginning, it's all like classes and stuff for the staff, and they they like hand out pamphlets for like, oh, like how to handle um burnout or like coping emotionally with how difficult, your job is, and that's it. And I think like this can be summed up in a very like obvious solution. Give people a break. Like
Okay,
let them rest.
absolutely.
Like
I can
obviously give them
100%
healthy
vouch that.
coping mechanisms, but like, yo, let them
Yeah,
sit down. Sorry, I
yeah.
didn't mean to
I
cut
can
you off.
one. No, you're good. You're right on point. I can vouch that giving your mutual aid workers, your community workers, the ability and space to rest is fucking important because, and I again say this from firsthand, I never know when it's safe to chill and relax.
Mhm. You're always on edge.
Yep, constantly, constantly. Thank you very much. But peaceful. How can you support someone doing community work without burning them out?
Um, I mean, for me, I would be happy to take part of the load. Um,
Mm,
I think that one person trying to do everything is it's rough. I know it's rough.
yeah,
um, and I feel like that's kind of what I'm looking for now. Basically a partner in crime, so to speak. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that is really important. because like one of the things that keeps me from being able to take time to rest and recuperate is the fact that I don't really, no one ever offers to take the workload. You know what I mean? Because I'm always going to be thinking about who's not being taken care of, who's not being looked after. And you know, it's detrimental. It is detrimental to my health. And you know, having people around that are like, no, you take a day off, I'm going to go ahead and serve the coffee or hand out the socks or whatever, like that is immeasurably helpful.
Gold.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Joker, welcome in. How do you think you could support someone doing community work without burning them out?
When you guys say community work, what do you mean?
Like mutual aid efforts, folks who are out making sure that the unhoused have food, or that the disabled person has someone to help them with their dishes, or whatever.
Oh my God, I could talk about that for hours. I think I got the right life. I do because I do mutual aid, and I was a peer support worker in a supervised injection site.
Oh,
And I got
you a follow.
and I got burnout from that, and I got fired. So like I have a grassroots project. I'm trying to help my own community with food, clothing, but I would say, because I could talk for hours, I would say the biggest response is remove capitalism.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. How can I heal my nervous system under capitalism? I can't.
Yeah, you can't. It's impossible. It's
Yeah.
impossible. Well, thank you very much for that input. And thank you for bringing the conversation almost back to a full circle of fuck capitalism in the neck. Lacey, how can you support someone doing community work without burning them out?
Well, I'd have to say that by reaching out and getting more volunteers to help, right? So if you're able to sit there and bring 5 volunteers for the day, you know, that would help them out significantly in reducing the workload that they have for that day or even that week.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. And thank you very much for your input. River, how could you support someone doing community work without burning them out?
Yeah, I think I'm all about, I mean, I hate having corporate jobs, but the one thing that really irked me the most about corporate jobs was the amount of inefficiency in systems. And so when I worked at a crisis center, like at least the upside of working those corporate jobs was like, oh, I know what programs and what technology can help you make this more efficient to take this load off of your shoulder, you know? So kind of maybe thinking about it in that way, in addition to, I think everybody else had great answers. And I second what everybody else said, especially like regarding delegation, and making sure that one person is like is the only like person that can do one thing. Like we need to be able to train people to, like, you know, if someone needs a break, if someone needs that rest, we need to be able to have someone who can like fill in that spot like with like complete ease and transition and like zero like difficulty in the transition. Yeah, I don't know if you read Adrienne Maree Brown. She talks a lot about this in her book Emergent Strategy. It's an excellent book looking
I
to
have read
like,
that book.
yes. So I think about like the murmurations of birds and thinking about how, you know, making sure that like when the bird in the front like needs a break, you know, another bird seamlessly like moves in to take their spot. And so like making sure that that kind of system is in place, whether that is with technology, volunteers, as Lacey said, delegation, like Pixie said, I think all of these things combined is like super helpful in those regards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much for your input. Paul, how can you support someone doing community work without burning them out?
Well, I mean, it sounds silly to say it, but doing it with them. Joining the cause, making sure that it's not a single person doing the community work, because I mean, a community of one isn't really a community as much as it is just one person doing stuff. And hopefully that kind of aspect recruits more people to doing, building
Yeah,
more community through leading through example.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, bud. So let's talk about scaling from neighborhood community to a movement. So first thing first is you got to link your pods across zip codes. One pod is safety, but 10 pods, that's strategy. If each pod knows another pod, information, gear, and aid can move really fast. Build comms trees. Create a signal or a Discord channel. By the way, if you're not a part of the Discord channel and would like to be, go ahead and send me a DM, and one of us from the Discord will get you in there. And also practice drills. Specifically when it comes to training, you want to train the people who are training. Every pod needs someone who can teach first aid, someone who knows water purification, someone who can run logistics, build mentorship chains, turn leaders or learners into leaders, right? And remember that all of this works kind of like a union. Your pod is your union. Think beyond emergency prep. What else could you organize? Rent strikes, heat share programs, group childcare, community gardens. Your survival pod could become your organizing base. So, Pixo, what's one action that if you were in a pod, your pod could take to make your area safer?
Well, hosting a cookout for other pods or potluck or something, a social low pressure thing so that people can get to know people.
Okay. I like that. And Aries, what's one action your pod could take to make your area safer?
Ooh. I know I keep coming back to this in my answers, but I would definitely say community-based therapy, or therapy that we can, or if one has the experience and knowledge, transferring that to the community so we can all learn it together and learn those coping skills and mechanisms and um, everything that all the good effects that come from therapy and utilizing that into our societal norm.
Okay. And thank you very much for that input. Janura. Hi, Anita. Janura, what's one action your pod could take to make your block safer?
Um, I'm right there with Pixa. I believe that fostering a community and like comfortability between people would ultimately make an area safer. While it does like invite other issues, while like like people isolating themselves and being distrustful of people coming through or new people coming in, it would ultimately make the community safer if everyone knows each other and is comfortable with each other.
Okay. I like that. Peaceful. What's one action that your pod, if you were in one, could take to make your area safer?
Well, I guess it kind of builds on that whole, bring it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. I mean, because I agree with everybody else, like pretty much what everybody else has just said. So I'm trying to find something different there. And I kind of, I agree with that. I do think that maybe it would be nice to have people that would look out, and I don't mean like necessarily like mutual aid sort of way, but more like a, now we need people to be looking out for ICE and looking out for cops and looking out for, you know what I mean? We need people that are looking out for kids that are coming up missing, things like that. Like, these are like important things right now. And I feel like, I mean, I don't know if it's discussed enough, honestly. Like, but I think every community needs to, have something like, some sort of understanding, that, and a mutual understanding that, it's important to keep these people safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for that input.
I'm sorry, I'm getting really tired here. It's
No,
like
you're
6 in the
good.
morning.
You're good. You're good. I appreciate you. I appreciate you toughing it out with me.
Definitely.
Joker, how could your pod or your local group make your area safer? What's one local issue your pod could address right now?
Food insecurity. There's so many issues, but like homelessness, like increasing, the opioid crisis, like to make sure that these people are safer, I would say.
Okay. You said you're in Montreal?
Yeah.
Okay. I might have some folks out that way that would be able to link up with you and help with food. I'll see what I can do after the live.
Thank you.
And thank you for your input. Lacey, how could your pod make your area safer?
I feel like maybe having like I'm gonna call it almost like a neighborhood watch, right? So people who are not just looking out for like crime and stuff like that, but also people who are looking out for, hey, here's some new resources that we could use in case anyone needs them, and finding new locations for more resources and better survival, and maybe people who are looking for people with specific skill types.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. River, what could your pod do? What could your activism group do to make your area safer?
I was thinking similarly to what Lacey mentioned about the neighborhood watch, but just like trying to disseminate information and resources in the neighborhood so that people don't feel compelled to call the cops, like, and instead will call other resources or people, point people to like help resolve things or help them with things that they think cops are, so basically, because I would like to get people to stop calling cops
abolish
in
the
the
police.
neighborhood. Yeah, so that's how I would definitely contribute.
Okay. I like that. I fucking love that. Paul, what's one thing that your pod could do to make your area safer? Paul? La 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 la. Paul?
RIP.
I think Paul might have fallen asleep. No worries, no worries. Well, oh, there he is.
Wait, sorry, I was away from the phone for a minute. What was the question?
What is one thing that your pod could do to make your area safer?
Providing local mutual aid, but also in the aspect of education, both on local safety, local security, how to do things on that, and not just in the aspect of the physical, but what to look out for.
Yeah. Okay. Again, another neighborhood watch idea. I fucking love that. I love that. Anything we can do to get rid of the police, I am fucking for it. Well, I'm going to go through my final reflection and then open it up for some just basic run-of-the-mill conversations. So, you didn't survive alone. So don't rebuild alone. And don't let anyone convince you that preparing together means weakness. That leaning on each other is somehow less than being independent. Independence is a myth sold to you by the same systems that abandoned you. What we're doing here, what you're building, is something real, something ancient, something that's always saved us. Interdependence. This isn't a fantasy. It's not a wish. It's a map. And it starts with the person right next to you. Not tomorrow, not when the sirens blare, right now. This is the moment. This is the hour where strangers become neighbors, neighbors become family, and family becomes the fire we gather around when the power is gone. We're not waiting for leadership. We're not waiting for orders. We're not waiting to be rescued. We are the plan. We are the rescue. We are the continuity of community, and we will not let the world fall apart in silence. So, take a deep breath, shake off the doubt, pick up the phone, knock on the door, share the food, start the circle. Be the one who says, let's begin. Because somebody has to. It might as well be you. You have the tools. You have the people. You have the power. Now, go build it. I want to thank everybody again for joining me in part 2 of our emergency broadcast episode of Interviewing Humanity. As always, I've been Sludge Knuckle. Stay rooted, stay loud, and stay together. So, everybody, thank you for sitting through this episode with me. As I'd stated before, if you're not a part of the Discord and would like to be part of the Discord, please go ahead and send me a DM and we will get you hooked up with it as soon as possible. Also, if you're not following each other, you're doing yourself a disservice, really, because the room right now is full of activist-minded people who are interested in taking care of each other, who need community. So please, connect.
Hey, host.
Yes.
Was that the legendary intro?
That was the outro, actually.
That was oh man. Well, that was so excellent. It was so like awesome. Man, I gotta like. I don't want to miss another one. You always have a banger intro.
Thanks, man. I do take the live recordings from TikTok and put them up on YouTube. If you'd like the YouTube link, I can totally send it to you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm so glad. I was just gonna say I'm so grateful that the algorithm did its job, because I've been looking for other like anarchist-minded folks and to like talking about any and all of this stuff. So mutual aid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people think I am like a spam account. I had to like actually use a picture of my like real face.
Yeah. So like I've been doing mutual aid for, over a decade and a half at this point. I started Heartfire Collaborative in 2018. And it's a loose grassroots kind of situation where anybody who is interested in doing the work to make society, better, to spread basic human decency, to uplift each other, you don't have to fucking run an application or nothing. You're already part of it. So by the way, welcome to Heartfire Collaborative. Hey. And I took a vow of poverty many years ago. Any money I get either goes to maintaining the ability to take care of folks or to taking care of folks. That's pretty much it. If anybody's really super interested in what I'm about, my main profile, which is also Sludge Knuckle, has a link tree, and in the bio there's my website that gives you the rundown of what I'm about. And pretty much everybody that's in here, aside from those of you that are new, can tell you exactly who I am. But enough about me. I want to know more about you guys. So let's just open it up for basic conversation. Go ahead and unmute yourselves and let's get to know each other.
I just want everybody to know that, everybody except Janara, I can't follow you for some reason. It won't let me follow you.
Oh, dang it. Really?
Yeah. It says it's a private account or something.
Yeah, I got that too.
Dang.
It's okay. You'll just have to follow people afterwards.
Yeah.
That's fine. I
followed everybody. Like,
I put in
I'll change
the
it.
request either way. So because I'm gonna have to go to sleep soon. Sludge, I will be in touch with you. Luna, I will be in touch with you. I promise. And I'm gonna jump back on these lives when I start getting back into gear. So coming out of the spiral.
Absolutely. I love having you around, Peaceful.
I love being here. I really do. Thank you for having me. I love you guys.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course, of course. Go get you some rest, honey.
Yes. Yes.
Good night.
Good
Or good
night.
morning, I guess,
Yeah,
maybe.
right.
Uh, I'd like to say that this did not feel like an echo chamber, despite all of us having very similar views.
Well,
Thank you.
you know,
I agree.
try to make sure that we're able to have discussions, even if there's opposing viewpoints. You know.
Yeah, which is important because, like, on it, like, I'm so sick of tired of talking to, like, the nicest way to put it would be an idiot. And like we all know what that means. I just don't like get the tick like the live slashed.
Of course, of course. Big A, yeah, you're in the right stream. You just came in a little late, but if you want to hit me up in a DM and come over to the Discord, I will. I'll fill you in. Okay. So let's get a little bit more information about you folks. River, you said you're in California. How long you been in California?
I've been here for 16 years. Yeah, so it's definitely home for me.
Okay, where'd you come from originally?
I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I
Whew.
had to move to a bigger city, more diverse city, when it was either New York or LA, and it's nicer and warmer here. So I moved as soon as I graduated high school. I was out of there.
That's
Um,
fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I'm pleased to have you on the West Coast. We need more folks like this.
yeah, I mean that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't know. I don't know. I think maybe other activist people know, but I think the general consensus about people in LA is that, just the idea of a lot of people here are very vapid and like shallow and it's all about the industry. But like I became such an activist in the city because of the amazing, incredible work that people are doing here and the history that is here. And it makes me really sad that like so much of that is like lost, to the
Hmm.
general population.
Yeah.
It's like just
Um.
because like that's what your place is known for, it doesn't mean that's what the actual people are like.
Right.
So really quickly, I want to move over to Joker really quick. Joker, you've been talking a bit now about um being kind of weak from lacking food. Do you happen to have like a PayPal or a GoFundMe or anything like that?
I have PayPal, Ko-fi, I think, in
Oh,
English.
Ko-fi. Okay.
Ko-fi, yeah.
Okay. Is this on your profile?
Yes, it's on my
It is?
profile.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to request anybody who can, if you have the ability, go over to Joker's profile and send them a little bit of something they can get themselves something to eat. Doing the work, no matter where you are in the world, takes energy and it requires food in order to, maintain it. If they haven't eaten for a few days, I feel like we can throw together a little something to make sure they get a meal. I appreciate you guys.
Roger.
Let's see. Janura, you mentioned being a teacher. What grade did you say you were teaching in?
I didn't. Uh, um, I taught at a setting 4 school,
Mm,
which if anyone doesn't know, it's for children that have high needs,
mm-hmm.
and I primarily taught kids that had EBD or autism. So I didn't have a
Okay.
set grade, but the youngest in my class was 5, and the eldest was 12
Okay.
or 11,
Uh, as
and
a
it was
kid
a
who
class of
really could have
6.
benefited from that, I want to say thank you.
Yeah, I mean, me
Yeah.
too. Like, unfortunately, like teachers are not equipped to support children that have higher needs. That they're not. It doesn't matter what setting you're in. Like a general ed school, teachers are by themselves with 26 kids, and 2 of them have higher needs. And like you know,
My daughter's struggling because of that.
it's uh, it breaks my heart. And, you know, like I got lucky that, you know, like you know, I just happened to like make it out despite having like higher needs. Like I just, you know, like I fell through the cracks, and like I didn't end up, you know, being a statistic. And I felt passion and a sense of duty to like help kids do some stuff, like do this, like get what I didn't get. And man, some of
Yeah,
these things, man.
I
Oh,
was gonna
I could
say,
go on and on, but it's just starting to like make me sad.
yeah, I didn't teach for very long because it is rough work. But but that's not to say that I enjoyed every moment of working with those kids and trying to give them the attention that I could give them and the support that they needed. It's such
Oh,
a, yeah, I mean,
man, I did not enjoy every minute. I got called the N word almost every day.
oh my gosh. Well, I worked
I'm
for
not gonna
a,
lie. I thought you were white because I haven't been looking at the screen. Your voice.
I get that a lot.
yeah, I worked for a, I think it was predominantly black school and it was in the city. And so, yeah, it just, those kids just need so much like and support, and it breaks my heart like how little funding there is and how little support there is for teachers everywhere.
Schools should not be funded by property taxes. They need to be funded by the government directly.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. Also, like, dude, I got kicked in the junk so many times. I did not think that I'd be able to have kids.
Oh my gosh.
I've had teeth knocked out, and I came to work every day, 5 years. But I like, yo, it was not a cakewalk.
Yeah. I guess yeah, I mean, again, I didn't teach for as long as you did. And I also like, I mean, I basically had so I'm non-binary and I basically had my initial like gender journey epiphany was with a conversation with a child. So like, I have very
What's
fond
up,
memories of it
Nibbling?
because of that. So
Yeah, I mean, like
What's
teaching
up,
is
Nibbling?
taxing. It takes a lot out of you. It just
yeah,
matters where your threshold is.
yeah.
I mean, I don't do it anymore, and I don't plan on doing it again.
I just want to say, what's up, Nibbling?
I'm gonna crash out.
Was that
Who's
Lacey that
crashing
said
out?
that?
Not me. What?
Oh, I was wondering who said that. Was that Literary or Lacey who said that they were going to crash out?
Oh, that was me. I was just kidding. My bad.
Oh,
You got people questioning things.
No, guys, I swear, I'm super not crash out core. Definitely.
That's super convincing.
I
It's a
know.
lie.
What? No. I'm a businessman.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I can leave you alone, right?
Hi, my name is Paul.
Actually, yes. Lacey, could you stop interrupting Paul, please?
Wait, what?
Lacey, stop interrupting Paul. So, what are you guys up to?
probably sleeping after this. It's still late.
I am playing Minecraft this entire time.
Multitasker. I love it.
Yeah, it's like 5 in the morning where I'm at.
It's 3:17 for me. Is that right?
Midwest.
Well, let's make sure that everybody gets a link to the Discord so that we can stay in contact when not on TikTok.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Anybody who wants that, just go ahead and shoot me a DM and I'll send you the link.
will do for sure.
Lou, is there any way you can coach me through Discord? I have one. I just don't know how to work it.
I felt that. I'm like the worst
5
person to
years.
ask.
Yeah, it took me
Barely
5
understand
years.
it.
I just randomly click until I get to where I want to go.
Okay, here, I got you. On the side, there are little bubbles, right? And each bubble's for a different group. You pretty much have to click through to find it unless you memorize the picture. But I'll send you the group thingy and it should bring you in. And then if you want to go ahead, I will shoot you a friend request after you join the group because it'll show us a message. And then I'll help you with getting around it.
Yeah, I added it one time and I accidentally ended up on a corn site.
Oh dear.
Oh, well, that's not gonna happen.
That's
Because this is not the group for that, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say.
Unfortunately.
You said what now?
I didn't
Yeah,
stutter.
You said
No,
unfortunately.
On a
I'm
corn site?
I'm trying to be
Fucking
around
heathen.
like-minded people.
Yeah, I was added into a bunch of
hold on, Lacey
groups.
said something.
I was
Paul, hold
added
on.
into a bunch of groups.
Paul, stop, hold on. Lacey said something. What's up?
Oh,
what the hell? I wasn't even saying anything.
You're trying to get other people to crash out. Shit.
no,
God damn it.
Do it.
I was
I
added
mean,
into a bunch
what?
of groups by a bunch of people on Fortnite, and then after that, I just ended up in the wrong place.
Honestly, that's a whole vibe ball. I got you on that
That's your.
one.
That was your problem, is making friends with
Okay,
people on
come on.
Fortnite.
Okay, I'll
This
stop.
is
Sorry,
fucking
Paul. Don't
up.
have a crash out.
This is really
What
fucking
did
me
I
up.
do?
Okay, is it funny fucking you up, or should I stop?
No, it's like okay, minor bit of overstim in that, and at the same time, my cat has decided that it's a perfect opportunity to climb underneath the covers and attack my toes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Jokes
I'm
aside, if
dealing
I'm
with
ever
two situations at once here.
jokes aside, if I'm ever like making a joke and you just like it's not the
Oh,
time, just be like, hey, stop that.
it's fine.
Seriously, please. No,
No,
you're
it's
good.
fine. It's just also like trying to figure out who. Wait. Conversation, but also what the fuck, Freya? What the fuck?
It's all good. When you're not busy, I will mess
Freya,
with you.
that's a dope name.
Yeah, Freya. I have two cats. There's Freya and Shay, and they're both my little trailer park cats, but they're both the exact opposite personalities.
That's usually
Am
how
I
it goes.
seeing stars on your hat?
What?
I saw a heart on the hat, but not a
I saw
star.
something on his hat.
I thought I saw a star too. But
There
maybe
are
that's because you
stars.
said you saw a star, so I was thinking,
Yeah,
Ah,
see?
there are stars.
okay, yeah.
And a
I'm
heart.
And a
I'm
heart.
obsessed with the song
And a
Last
cat.
Christmas.
Like all the
Wow.
pins.
Stop creaking the
That is
door.
a stellar
I've listened
hat.
to the song Last Christmas by Wham 46 times today.
What?
I love that for you so
I-
much.
I straight up, I can't stop.
Have you seen that rom-com that's like basically based around that song?
Nah. Well,
It's a cute movie.
okay. I'll look into it. It's like I'm about to listen to this song again. I'm gonna mute myself and play it.
No,
What song?
Well,
Dude, being autistic is sometimes so taxing.
1,000% agree.
Like,
Not
damn, can I
just,
get a break?
not sometimes. I feel like all the time it is 1,000% tax.
Is everyone in
Oh,
here
yeah.
autistic?
I
Probably.
am.
Yep,
I mean,
probably.
I am.
Me too.
Can confirm.
Strong senses of justice
Neurodivergent
unite.
individuals.
Oh, I didn't hear what was happening.
Apparently, everyone in here is autistic.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I'm not just autistic. I'm autistic.
You're.
I don't get that joke.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Wait, is that a reference to Jimmy Neutron?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
It took you long enough.
Hi, I'm Paul.
As someone who grew up with that fucking reference, even though I never watched the fucking show.
I love that reference.
Never
I
watched.
randomly walk around family
Who's
I didn't have.
functions and just
I
walk
grew up
up to
without
people and be
cable,
like,
dish, or
"Hi, I'm
internet.
Paul."
I grew up very not very, but grew up poor. So we'd steal cable from our neighbor.
As you should. As you
I
should.
felt that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we didn't have cable, dish, or internet, and
Is it really stealing it if they? Is it really stealing it if you're not depriving them of it?
It's true. Yeah, you're right.
Hey, you
They
don't
do have
steal
to pay
from
more
the
for
censor.
it, to be fair.
Do they?
I think so.
I don't know. I gave my neighbor one of
But,
my TVs, and he hooked up all his apps to it, and then I brought it back over here, and now I have all his apps, and I just use them.
As you should.
hmm I now have what is that? Max, iMax, some sort of Max TV.
HBO Max, but minus the HBO. HBO-less Max.
Mm-hmm.
The blue one?
Yeah, it's the blue one.
That doesn't narrow it down. There's 3 blue ones.
And then I have Amazon Prime now.
That's another blue one.
I was gonna say that's blue. Yeah.
Yeah, but that one's like a tealy kind of blue.
Yeah, it's
and
like a tealy
I
blue.
pirate everything. I don't
But
believe
then I
in
also have
privilege my
Hulu
money.
and Netflix.
So I was trying. So a while ago, this is sometime last year. My partner and we went on a vacation, and part of the vacation ended up getting us some. We had to get some tickets for some stuff, and the tickets ended up coming with a temporary subscription for fucking what's it called? Fucking Peacock with the ads.
Peacock is gas.
Huh?
Peacock is gas. It's dope.
Oh yeah, no, no, it is a good one, but it says, I swear to God, I stopped watching anything that had ads a long time ago because fucking between yee har har fiddly deeing it and the few things that I actually would pay a subscription to, and then watching the things with the ads, I don't know about y'all. I have this aspect where I love media analysis, and I will be pulling apart the politics of anything media wise. And there was an ad there that I just got mad at because of the politics, and it was constantly showing up, and it was some kind of fucking it was like a perfume ad, but it was basically making it so basically implying that it in a very blunt way, the only people who deserve good things are the rich, kind of a deal, on a fucking ad for perfume.
That's fucking wild.
Ugh.
I got so mad at it.
I
It's
100% understand.
Getting mad at
I see,
yeah.
because I do not consume propaganda. I don't care what it is.
Fuck that, burn it with fire.
Even Paw Patrol. My
every
ex-wife
single
tried to have my son watch it, and I was like, nah, we ain't doing that.
Seriously, every single bit of symbolism in that fucking ad, though, was basically screaming the only people who deserve nice things are the rich.
Ugh.
Every single bit of symbolism.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have crashed out because every time I watch an ad and it interrupts what I'm watching to bother me about paying for some shit that I'm already paying for, I am 2 seconds away from flipping a table. Because there's no way. There's no way. I'm paying for this service.
I'll have to message you about an extension that you can get for your browser that cuts out the ads.
I'm listening.
But you know what's the craziest part is the next ad?
Send the link.
The next ad was a little Caesars ad. And I got so mad at that one too. It's like the carryover anger.
Oh,
and I was like, fuck it. I could make this shit at home, but better.
Yeah.
Little Caesars is goated.
Okay.
No, there was this they were having this ad for these little pizza bite things, and I looked at them I literally looked at my partner, I'm like, You know, I could make those for better and cheaper.
Like I
That's something.
stand Little Caesars over here because the CEO of Little Caesars paid for Rosa Parks' uh, mortgage until she died. So that
Wait,
I think it
wait,
was
say
like
that
15
again?
years. The CEO of Little
Believe in that.
Caesars paid for Rosa Parks, either it was rent or her mortgage
That's
until she
true?
died. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Oh shit. But still, like,
Yeah, but their pizza is trash. Like, it's not good. But, like,
yeah,
I go there because, like, yo, I see the vision.
They
Like,
also don't have any vegan options for me to eat, so.
that's fair.
I have
but
a
like
question.
straight up though, I saw the thing. I'm like, I could make that better. I could make that healthier. I can make that with flavor.
That's why I don't get steak when I go out to dinner ever because I can always make it better at home.
Oh yeah, like like legit. This is gonna sound like weird, but like the only time I ever really eat out. So like I work at a hospital, right? And right now they have me going between morning shift, evening. They have me on rotating shifts. Between what time of day? And the only time I'm ever really eating out is at fucking breakfast time, and I'll be going to the fucking hospital thing just for a little cup of oatmeal because I'm like, fuck it. It's just a fucking cup of oatmeal, but shit, it was 99 cents.
I have a question. Does anybody know what the blue star in the left-hand corner of the box means?
Yeah, it's how many coins you've been given since coming into the room.
What are the coins for?
Given coins?
They're worth money.
Oh. I never
Yeah,
knew what that meant.
I think like 20 of them is like 2 cents.
No. It's 1.1 penny per point.
Oh. So I must have really miscalculated all those times in the lives.
I'm rich now. Woo.
In this economy, yep.
17 cents? Oh boy.
I have a
Yeah.
savings jar, and my son stole all $7 out of my savings jar. And I told him he didn't understand how much money that was and how hard it was for me to even save that $7.
Oh, where'd you go? Oh yeah, get some sleep. Get some sleep, River. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, shit, that sucks, but I definitely get it. Like, I had a friend in high school who would throw away change, and it upset me so much. I would literally be like, dude, just give it to somebody. Or, like, at that point, just give it to me. Like, I'm not broke like that.
What?
But
They would
yeah,
throw. Okay. I was always taught that change went in the piggy bank, and then, like, once a
yeah.
year, you would empty the piggy bank and roll all the change.
Yeah, he was, like, definitely a Nepo baby. Like, his parents gave him $100 a week for gas and whatever else. And then they were constantly giving him money on top of that because
What?
he was trying to get a job. Yeah.
$100 a week for gas,
I'd like those parents
Can I have
right
it?
now.
bro?
They
Like,
adopt
what?
me.
Hold on. What year was this?
Must be nice.
Okay, so I graduated in, I think like 19? I think like, no, hold on.
That hurt my back.
No, I graduated in 21. Okay, I graduated in 21, so that would have been
You're still hurting my back. This is not helping my back.
2018. Bruh, you're like,
Oh, my hip.
how old are you? Aren't you like 35? Chill.
Don't mind me. I'm gonna take my
No,
hard
I'm not
meds.
that old. But damn.
I'm only 29, but like, I graduated in 2013.
In 2021, I had 4 kids already.
In 2021, I was working as a microbiologist and going through my last semester of college.
Bruh, I don't know why you guys are trying to guilt trip me out of the future my country's already taken away.
Wait, hold
Right?
on.
I'm not even gonna get that shit.
We're
Can
not
you
shaming
chill,
you. We're not shaming
please?
you.
Oh no.
I think we're just
I
being like
started working
self-loathing.
like right around
Oh,
the
yeah.
time
Self-loading. I
economy
feel
was starting to
old.
like really dip into it. Alright? I'm trying to get a job and nobody wants to give me a job. I'm perfect working age and I still can't get a job. Like, this shit crazy over here.
Well, that's because they know that they can't take advantage of you. So, like, that's why they're not hiring you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If
I
you go
mean,
in acting
really.
like a dick,
correct.
I promise you'll get hired.
If I what?
Go in acting like a ditz.
But I'm not gonna act stupid because I'm annoyed and crash out. Like, I don't think you
So I
understand.
got morals.
No, I don't have morals. I just don't want to go to jail.
Okay. Fair
Okay,
enough.
so then, okay,
Valid.
Jail
with
sucks. I've been in jail once.
with your speech pattern, your intelligence, I recommend a bookstore.
I'm mobile right now. I can't even. It has to be online or nothing.
Okay, apply for teleperformance.
I just quit my telemarketing job because my manager was. Oh, actually, there's so much stuff. Honestly, let me tell you later.
Yeah.
It's a lot actually, but yeah, no.
Easy.
Scamming old people into going to meetings that I don't know what they're really doing there is kind of soul crushing.
Unethical.
Yeah, it's soul crushing, like for real. And like to be fair, I don't think they were trying to make money from them.
I recommend
But at the same
teleperformance just
time-
because you're helping people with their Bluetooth radio, and that's it. In their car.
Shoot me the name in a DM so I can look it up later. Thank you. I might have to do that.
Super easy job. I want it again.
As you should, honestly, as you should. Honestly, hear me out. Like, I've been ready to retire since before I started working. I'm so tired of all this shit. Like, hear me out. I'll do stuff. Alright? That's what I'll settle for. I'll do stuff.
I'll do
I'm
stuff
tired
to
of
be a
working.
trophy wife, that's for sure.
I'm not even a trophy wife. I would crash out. Like, see, that's my problem. I can't do any of this, like, just dealing with somebody's crap.
I just want to stay at
I'll crash
home
out.
and play Minecraft all day while someone else pays my bills.
I want to read books all day while someone else breathes oxygen for me.
The life.
For real. I don't even want to be
I
breathing.
fully plan on playing Elden Ring for like an absurd amount of hours, but I know for a fact my boyfriend is gonna be like on my ass about it.
Hey, part of the reason I can't wait to go back
me
to
because I switched to Minecraft, and I've been playing Minecraft nonstop for the past like 2 weeks.
Hey, I mean, part of the reason I can't wait to go back to night shift at work is because I can just bring my Steam Deck and I'll just be playing fucking Cyberpunk at the hospital.
Cyberpunk?
Oh yeah,
Yo, it's gas.
dude,
just been playing a
that
whole
game
bunch of
has literally helped me so many
Speaking
times.
of gas.
So many ways.
Yo, I ran through it though. Like, I achieved way too much too soon. I played Cyberpunk the same way that I played Skyrim by grinding
dude,
the entire time and then starting the main quest line, so being way over leveled.
You know what I'm really upset about? They have Sonic the Hedgehog Adventure 2 Battle on Xbox, but they don't have it on PlayStation.
Bruh.
You know
First
what?
off,
One thing I'm never
Sonic,
gonna get over.
a good Sonic game hasn't came out since Sonic Heroes.
Okay, but hear me out. You know what I'm never gonna get over? I'm never gonna get over them low-key bullying the entire studio that made the Sonic movie into making it better. Because I don't know if y'all saw the early commercials for that, but that was
I
wild.
remember.
Alright,
I remember.
bring back Cyberbullying. Because it works.
Cyberbullying works.
Yeah, our current administration's getting a little too big for their britches, alright? I think they need to remember what high school was like.
Also, on the aspect of the gaming thing, Janura, you and I probably have like one of that weird niche video game like aspects of what we will hyper focus our gaming on then. Because like Cyberpunk and Skyrim are the only games I've ever actually actively committed the time to getting all the achievements for.
I played for the last 15 years, I've played the same like 4 games.
Same.
Like, in other games, like Horizon Zero Dawn is good. I tried to play Far Cry 6. That was trash. But my go-tos: Fallout, Skyrim, Cyberpunk. Even though that's a newer one.
Yeah.
And then
Fallout.
Yeah. Yes.
You're basically just listing the list of why my old computer blew up.
I have played every Fallout. Um, well, no, except for the last few. But I've
76
played
is ass.
Fallout 1 all the way up to. I didn't finish New Vegas. And I have played all of the Elder Scroll games up to Skyrim.
So I've played all of the Elder Scroll games except for the OG.
ESO
and
is
the one
trash.
that I have ESO, but I never actually played it, and I
It's
don't really
ass.
consider it.
Oblivion was the one that I couldn't finish.
Um, I've played a shit ton of Skyrim though, and I used to mod Skyrim to the point where it was so the game has a maximum plugin count of 235 plugins, and I found ways to make it have upwards of 1,000.
Did you overclock?
Yes. Why do you think my old computer blew up?
I've never
It was a
actually
laptop.
met someone that overclocked their computer.
I overclocked my computer on Skyrim by
That's
adding in
insane.
mods that basically
Bad
added
bots.
in. I added in mods that fucking basically added in fucking Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Witcher of I mean, I had code physics,
Witcher is good.
but no,
Witcher
like
3.
they were all in Skyrim.
Oh snap! Nice.
Like merging the game into one. I mean, my Skyrim mod build had coat physics.
Alright, I think I'm
Well,
gonna
I've
put
always
down
been
now.
a console player.
All right, Aries. Thank you for coming
Alright,
through. I love you.
Yo, it's been dope.
much
Hey,
love.
we'll see
Good
you
night.
later.
I've always been a console player, right? So I remember I had to go to the library to like download mods onto. I spent my allowance on a 1 terabyte flash drive,
Yeah.
and then I downloaded like mods on the like library computer, and I took it back home to my Xbox, and that's how I was able to play modded Skyrim. But other than that, I just simply played the same game over and over and over again, like base Skyrim.
Dude, I tried going back to base Skyrim. I can't do it. I can't. I also modded the shit out of Fallout 4.
I never played Fallout with mods.
Fallout 4 with mods isn't that bad. Fallout 3 with mods is chunky. But Fallout 4 with mods isn't that bad depending on which ones you're going with. I mainly added in mods that, like... So the mods I would add would make things more difficult. So, like, yeah, you'd have the ability to dodge, and you'd have the ability to, you know, have more weapons, or have weapons visible on your holster and shit like that, or just, you know, animations and shit. But what also would happen is I would have in mods that if your character didn't eat or sleep, they would die.
Oh, survival.
Yeah, except I had it more of a hardcore mode.
It's like after a
radiation.
certain point, like Skyrim and Fallout just become easy, even if you have it on
Exactly.
the hardest difficulty. But like, have you played Dead Space?
I have not
Yes.
played Dead Space.
Yeah, yo.
Dead Space 1 and 2, man. Oh my god.
I played
I
all
want-
three. I'm a huge fan of all three of them.
That's on the list of the ones I'm looking into.
I never got to play the third one.
The third one, it's easier than the first two, but
Then
it's
I'm not
super fun.
interested.
It's fun though, and also it continues the story.
Have you played the mobile game?
No, I didn't have a
trash.
phone. I did check out the website back when that was up. Super creepy.
Yeah. Dude, Dead Space is one of my all-time favorite space-related games.
So it's perfect.
All right, Pixel, thank you for coming through. I love you.
Yeah, see you, Pixel.
See you
Bye.
guys. See ya.
Sleep well. Stay
Take care.
safe.
But Dead Space, man, it feeds that. It feels like there's risk.
Ooh,
Hey yo, no, I'm just kidding.
Orchard.
Hey.
Hey.
Loon, do you want some Meyer lemon with your hibiscus tea? Okay.
Yes.
I'm hearing Meyer Lemon, and my brain went Meyer Lark for a minute. So
Yes. Yes, we're having Meyer Lark in our hibiscus flower tea.
Yas, what else would we have?
Wait, do you live with him?
It's my co-pilot right now.
What?
Back when
Yeah,
I
I
was
told you I was mobile.
back when I was a teenager, I was very pretentious about tea. So I worked at I don't know if anyone remembers this store, Teavana.
No.
Oh, I know
Nope.
Tivana.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Before
Hey,
they got bought out by
you again.
Starbucks.
Yeah. But like they were like pretending that they weren't a part of Starbucks, even though they were.
Oh, for sure.
My cat is judging the conversation, but yes.
But it was just this super pretentious upscale like tea dispensary, and the tea was good. Like it was worth every dollar. But like, yo, who's spending $30 for 2 ounces of tea?
Ew.
Oh, bro, that's
Can I meow
horrible.
for that?
Extortionate.
Dude, okay, I found out after getting kicked out of my parents that there's certain like stereotypes of Slavic people that I actually fit under.
Slavic?
There's stereotypes for Slavic people.
I mean, drunk all the time. You know, there's a reason Polish jokes exist.
I've never heard a single one.
Slavic, Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, that group. Yeah.
I still don't think I've heard. But
Around
also,
here,
like,
there's-
I am like pretty far removed from the Slavic community.
Well, also, I mean, like, okay, so for reference, I grew up traveling between parts of Chicago and around Gary. So, like, that region.
Bro, I fucking knew you were from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yo,
like-
Eminem. Sorry.
Sorry, bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. You said Gary and Chicago. Bro, I know.
That's like a very specific, like Gary, Chicago and then discount Chicago. And the thing is, like, sorry, my cat is distracting me because she's trying to put her paw in my ear.
Can I meow at your cat?
Is that Freya?
Yeah, that's Freya.
I want to be a mermaid. I want to be a mermaid.
She's also very heavy for a cat her size.
Yeah.
Are you calling
She's
her
so
fat?
pretty.
I'm guessing like.
Oh no, she's a
15
chunk.
pounds.
She is a Danny DeVito cat. She
That's
eats
not
like a
very
30.
nice.
She eats like an overweight trucker. Okay, let's be honest. I'll be honest. In a past life, she was an overweight trucker.
She's just a little baby. Don't talk to her like that.
I should send you a video of
Like a chubby baby.
one of my
That baby's
cats.
so cute. Fat baby's
no,
so
like-
cute. I'll stand behind that.
No, this cat right here, this one. She will
It's a little
steal
baby.
food off of a pizza.
150
As she should.
for 12.5 years.
Okay.
Wait, what?
No, we gotta stop Skynet.
Arnar clear.
We already stopped Skynet.
The movie Terminator is symbolically anti-fascist.
It's canon.
So realistically, if I keep my marketplace for 12 years, I will have made my money back if I buy all the games instead of.
It sounds like you're trying to ask us to justify your purchase.
Sorry,
I
Do
was
it.
okay. I'm on
Time's an
Minecraft, and you
illusion.
know
Money is
Minecraft.
fucking
Do
made
it.
up. Do whatever you want.
It has these packs that you can purchase, right? But then it has like the marketplace thing where you could pay like $3.99 a month. And I was debating on it at the rate of 150 packs, right? Which is how many it offers. If I sit there and I divvy that up to the amount of months that I would be paying $3.99, would it be worth it in the long term for me to purchase all of the packs, or would it be better for me to just continue with the marketplace monthly?
I don't know. It's your money.
Because they come out with all kinds of new packs and stuff like that. It's rough.
Are you satisfied with the game that you're playing now?
I want the Japanesey version.
Then buy it. If you're not
Fair
satisfied
enough.
with what you have, then you got to do it.
But I'm trying to figure out which one. Do I just purchase the
Get both.
Japanesey one? What if I change my mind and I decide I want a whole bunch of other stuff? But then I just
Well, you
see
can
a
always go
mermaid.
back.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Well,
Every time you want to purchase a pack, give it a week. If you still want to purchase it later on, then you probably still want it. You probably actually want it. You didn't just see it and think it's kind of cute. But can you justify that purchase? That's what
okay.
you gotta ask yourself.
Yep.
Yes,
Well, like,
yes.
would you rather have pizza or that game?
Bro, that's not
Oh,
even a question. I'm a big back. Of course I want pizza.
Then don't buy the game.
Fuck is a big back?
Somebody eats a lot.
Is it? Because you can always play the same game you're playing and get
That's a
pizza
whole vibe.
and have a grand old time.
I
Thank
had
you,
both.
bro.
That's always my philosophy.
Yeah, but in some cases, the pizza's like 2 games.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have greasy fingers be clicking and stuff. I don't need some like extra extension.
I don't touch my controllers when I'm eating. I wash my hands before I touch them.
Okay, but like, you see what I mean, right? Like, you
Yeah.
can enjoy 2 good things that you want because you're not done with what you're currently playing. You just want something extra. But is that extra thing worth pizza or like some like out food?
Fair.
But like, then again, it's your money. Like, you don't even know my name. And do whatever you want.
I do what I want because I'm a quacker.
What?
What? A white boy can't catch a vibe anymore? Damn.
Quack, quack, quack.
Who's white?
But to be fair, technically, nobody is actually white.
I mean, I'm just a weird Slavic guy who. Oh yeah, that reminded me of the stereotype with this shit.
What you?
Oh no, sorry, I was talking about
Yeah,
Paul.
I found out that there was like a stereotype, like internationally, of Slavic people that I didn't realize I fit under, and that was an over obsession of tea. But like, apparently that was one I just didn't know of, because like, I used to drink tea all the fucking time, like all the fucking time.
Is that because you're British or?
No, he's Slavic, блядь. He didn't. No,
I had to message you. I'm so sorry.
yeah, no, I'm literally like Russian and Ukrainian.
I know.
No, I'm saying like as far as like hair, like that is straight up. Like it kind of becomes a thing where like they've realized that my job that when my accent comes out, I'm getting upset at the machines.
Oh, Paul. That's you talking. Okay.
I've run into like a similar but like opposite problem. For some reason, no one ever believes that I'm black. If I don't like, I phone interview very well, and for some reason, all the employers are always super surprised when I show up.
Actually, when people see my legal name on things, and they see that that I write down that I'm multilingual, they always assume that I'm speaking Spanish.
It's so
It
funny
happens all the
because
fucking time.
I'll sit there and I'll interview in Spanish, and then when I come in, they're surprised that I'm not Hispanic. I'm white. Yeah.
Yeah, it annoys me so much when because my son speaks Spanish, he'll like say stuff and then start giggling, and I'll be like, "Are you talking about me?"
And
Because like I
nine
only
times
speak English and a little bit of sign, but that little like mother effer, he speaks 4 languages already.
Okay, here's the question. Okay.
Sure.
How far into cuss words are we allowed to say on this thing? Yeah. Okay. Is he
Why do you think
saying
I
things
learn other
like? Is he saying
languages?
something like puta or pendejo?
No,
You're good. We're already restricted, so you're good.
Okay.
we're already restricted. Yo, I've been biting my tongue the whole time.
Oi,
We've been
boy,
restricted since before I got back from
Did he
to the
ever
bus.
say este negro es un, something like that?
No.
Okay, well then I guarantee he's probably not talking about you.
Yeah. But then again, like I don't know. So like I think that's the part that bothers me. But
Here's a suggestion. Just take it as an opening. Learn some of it.
man, I don't feel like doing all that.
Hey, no. Let me tell you something. This is applicable. Okay, here's a little story, right? From when my baba came to this country, right? She didn't
Did you
speak
say
any
baba?
English. Yeah, no, the baba, grandmother. My grandparents, all four, and my dad all came to this country. And when my baba, she got here, like she didn't speak any English, and Chicago has a lot of Slavic, Polish and Ukrainian and Russian ghettos.
Yep, very diverse.
Yeah, well, it is, and then you realize, like, oh well, it gets weird.
It's messy.
But the thing is, my baba, she got a job working as a maid, or not a maid, like a cleaning woman. And, she was telling me this story one time, and this is when I was in high school, she told me, like, it happened long before I was born, but, like, she told me about this when I was in high school. She was like, I was telling my friend, like, I couldn't, I don't know how I'm going to make it in this country. I don't speak any English. And her friend's like, Nina, it's fine. Just when you go home, you just go turn on television, watch TV. English is easy. You will pick it up like that. And so, my baba said,
is legendary. My bad. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, it's all cool. I do impersonate.
I watch a lot of soap operas in Spanish.
Well, what I was getting at is my baba ended up watching TV, going home after work, watching TV. And then, that is how my baba accidentally learned Spanish. So,
a Slavic woman learning Spanish randomly. That sounds
she
amazing.
accidentally learned Spanish. Well, keep in mind, okay. English is not my first language. My first language was Russian. Then Ukrainian.
I mean, honestly, I could tell by the way you like pulled off that like switch of the accent that English was not your first language.
The accent thing is entirely something different.
That sounded way too natural.
My Chicano accent that you hear, this accent, Chicagoese, that's something that I got due to severe bullying, because even though I was born after the Cold War, I was still called commie scum. Little do they know.
Jesus, what?
Oh yeah, no. That's something that would happen. I was severely bullied to the point where I had to figure out how to fight back, and I got suspended for fighting over 30 times in middle school.
Jeez. I'm sorry, dude. That really sucks.
Oh no,
I was also
it's funny. It's funny because it's like You know, they call me a commie. I become a commie eventually. They call me bi. Later on, oh wait, I'm bi.
We out here fucking dudes, bruh.
I'm like, bruh,
Couldn't
why didn't anyone just call me a millionaire? Like, seriously, I just lost the fucking
you know what they didn't call you? You know what they didn't call you? Successful, and you proved them wrong.
Like,
But
yo, for real, can someone call me worthy of love, please?
You're worthy of love.
you are worthy of love.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You are worthy of love and human decency and dignity.
Yeah,
But
off the sheer
no,
fact that you exist.
but no, like I had that when I was really young. I had a very thick accent, and I got bullied to the point where like I literally developed this accent as a defense mechanism.
Yep, this is true. That's why I speak like this.
But no, like I spoke Russian more, Ukrainian more at home. Uh, there's problematic reasons as to why I also speak German. Um,
Uh,
not because of me. It's more because of my family.
oh,
There's a
well,
reason
yeah.
I don't live with them, and some getting the wrong lessons from things they lived through.
Wait, hold on. I have a clarifying question. Did you immigrate?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Like,
So you're first generation?
yeah. Well, on that border, my mom also was born in this country.
Okay. So that would
Let's
be
not
the
ask,
second
let's not
generation.
ask
Then.
those questions over open airlines.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
right. You're right. My
yeah.
bad, my bad.
Especially given administration. I mean, shit,
Sorry.
my dad's been a citizen since before he was an adult, so fuck it. Um, but yeah, no. Then I learned how to speak English. Then I ended up learning Romanian. Then I ended up learning some Spanish.
Yo, this dude multilingual.
Dude, Romanian is easy. Okay. Romanian is easy if you know Spanish and if you know Russian, because it's
First
basically like a weird lingual love child between the two.
off,
It's
I don't
basically
have any interest in learning any other language besides sign language, and that's only because I'm currently like losing my hearing.
what's oh, I hate to say it like this, but I'm sorry about that. But you know,
Yeah, I mean, like I did it to myself. Like,
but
Would
it's
you shove
weird.
a
What's
chopstick in
weird
your
is
ear?
yeah, just like abusing my eardrums.
yeah. Of my family, though, I'm actually the one who speaks the fewest languages.
Dang.
My dad also speaks Hebrew, Latin, and Greek.
Latin?
Oh yeah, my dad.
Is he a scientist?
No, he's a fucking dumbass.
He speaks Latin. Dang.
He's an anarcho.
Yeah, no.
He not
he's
that
a-
dumb then.
He's a historian and theologian, and he's an anarcho-monarchist, and I will go on and on about that. That is a rant that I've already been on today.
A couple times.
And Sludgy heard it. Yes.
You know, my father is not a great person. I'm second born of 27.
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, straight up. I have 26 siblings.
Okay, I thought my family dynamic. I thought my weird
Hold on.
sibling count was that weird.
Where am I at on the totem pole?
And,
I'm 20th born of 22.
What?
Yeah.
I am simultaneously eldest, youngest, middle, and
me?
only in multiple different aspects.
What?
Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to ask the question. Okay, how many dads? How many moms?
One.
Wait, your mom had that many kids?
Mhm.
Bro, no, hold on. My dad's a
Mormon?
slut. Hold on.
Were you
He
raised
just
a
got
Mormon?
multiple baby mamas.
Do what?
Were you raised Mormon?
No, he's just
Catholic.
nasty. Oh, my bad.
Catholic.
Oh God.
Oh.
Oh yeah, contraception doesn't exist in
They didn't believe in contraceptives.
Every sperm is sacred.
Mm-hmm.
And my father sold that stuff that people used to do in the 80s,
Ah,
but like a lot of it.
Oh.
fun.
So like I go by aliases. So like, you know, Jin isn't my real name. And I don't use like, because No, yeah, oh, man, there ain't no way you got anybody over here could like do anything to me. But yeah, unfortunately, like my family is infamous in my state.
For
So
what?
sad.
So like, my mom had to sit me down and give me the talk. Like, don't tell people. Like, if anybody asks you, you make something up.
That's right.
Like, that's just how I lived.
What?
Damn.
But like, I sound like this as a defense mechanism.
Yeah, well,
Get called out less.
yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more context, like immediately.
This is getting interesting.
No,
Context
because
about what?
what is your dad, or you know what? Here's a better idea.
He was a
Okay, so
smug
I'm writing a
racist.
story, right? And I'm making a character who has a set of parents who do mysterious illegal things. Do you have any ideas for what that should be, hypothetically, and within the confines of this completely fictional story?
Yeah, I think I do. You said we're already restricted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all good.
Okay, I'm still gonna use softer language.
Appreciate
Um,
it.
I would say rug trafficker.
Okay, so like a plant connoisseur, or maybe somebody who works.
No, stuff that falls from the sky. during the winter.
Chemical trafficker.
Are we talking about something that may have been used as a substitute for something else as a non-addictive alternative at some point in our history?
The stuff that
not
they
getting
pumped
this?
into black neighborhoods during the 80s?
Oh, snow.
Yes.
Snow.
No,
Yes.
no, not. Wait, are you talking snow or are you talking about snowballs?
No,
We're
honestly,
talking about
both.
snow.
Snowballs?
Yeah. Oh, no, both.
Triggers to the booger?
You got one, you got the
Touche.
other.
Well,
We're not
yeah,
talking about. We're not talking
if
about.
you're big and
crystals,
got
are
if you're
we?
big and got one, then you definitely have the other because it makes more money.
Yeah. Well, I think we're talking crystals, right?
Yeah, well, thank you for the very hypothetical literary scenario that I've concocted and will now use for a plot in my book that I'm definitely writing.
Yes, of course. No problem.
On a Minecraft Discord
anyways.
server.
Honestly, that's what I've been doing lately. Like, if I need to ask somebody a question, I just pose it as a plot point for a book. Like,
Good.
seriously.
You know
That's
the difference.
slick as hell.
You know the difference between a rug dealer and a rug peddler?
I feel like this is a joke going somewhere.
The answer is a
Wait, you
forklift.
already laughing? I don't even know the punchline.
The answer is a forklift.
I don't understand.
Me neither. Thank God. Thank God. Usually I'm like, I don't know.
Amounts.
Oh, okay.
I'm so
hold on.
done with me.
My thinking is very rigid.
I'm not done with you, Lacey. Anyways, I'm done. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
So when I say the answer is forklift, a rug peddler is someone who's out on the street with some amounts, upwards of 1,000 grams of something or more. But a dealer is a person who uses a forklift to get their product on a truck or into a shipping container.
Ah, I see. I gotcha. Yeah, it's super unfortunate. I remember when I was 14, I was at a
did
gas
both of
station
those things.
in some random city, and I'm paying for my gum or whatever the heck that 14-year-olds get at a gas station, and
Oh, why did I end up going silent?
I can hear you.
I hear people, but I don't hear. I think they might have gotten a call.
Can you hear me?
Ooh.
I hear the echo.
Give me a second to do so, Jesus.
Be faster, bruh.
No, I'm old.
No, you're not. You're 37. Chill. Anyways, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Also, Sludgy, you ain't old. If you was as old, then fuck.
I'm fully gray.
Nuh-uh.
Hey,
Yeah.
You
honestly,
wouldn't
I
know this,
still
but I'm graying.
Yeah.
same.
Stuff. Ray's died.
I
I
dye my
I'll
hair.
literally be laying down, and my partner will wake up, and she'll be like, "Hey, you got your gray shit all over me."
That's so mean.
Oh yeah.
I'm for it.
That's trash.
What's the rest of my Pop Tarts?
I don't know. I didn't even like. They're the brown sugar ones.
My significant other has recently found out that I'm a whole butthole.
You're what?
I'm a whole butthole.
Who informed you of this? What?
Oh no, I've known about it the whole time. But he just now started realizing it. I'm not sure how how he missed it.
See, what happened? I'm so lost.
Well, see what happens is he'll sit there and say something, right? And then I'll sit there and say something very sarcastic or dirty. And he didn't realize until just recently that I am more asshole than dirty.
As you should, petty queen.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. I think I'm gonna hop over to the Discord if anybody wants to join us over there. We'll send you the links. I'm gonna play fucking games and shit.
Oh, the AI game from earlier.
Can they
Wow,
also
that was
try
actually really fun.
variations of that? Because they have different games that are like kind of the same in concept, but they're not exactly that one. So
Yeah.
they'll have different scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Oh,
As
I
long
hate
as it's
this.
one that I can actually play on, like half of the ones you were putting on.
Well, I was doing it from my laptop, so.
Oh.
All right, Janera, Lacey, do you guys have the Discord?
No.
I messaged the host about the Discord.
I'll send it
So,
to you.
yeah,
Oh, I
I
hate
figured
this
like after we get
expansion.
done here, you'd send it to me.
You know what? They gave me a 30-day free trial for the expansion packs that I wanted to see if I wanted. And so far, I'm not liking the ones that I thought I wanted to buy.
Look at that. So now you
Sounds
can
like you
get
should
that
buy a
pizza,
pizza.
continue playing the game that you like actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Turn up.
Huzzah.
I'm down for what?
No. Burped.
Oh my bad. I have this terrible beer. It's disgusting. I hate it.
Paul, can you please calm down? Anyways, Lacey, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Janera, no one asked you.
Yeah?
Lacey, are you still there?
Yes.
Paul, be quiet. I'm trying to talk to Janera. Janera, please. Are you
Dang,
still
what
there?
I do?
Shh, be quiet. Gosh,
No,
Paul.
my bad. Okay.
Janera, glad to hear you're alive.
Most definitely.
No one is talking to you, Paul. Please, you need to calm down. Like, honestly, don't they have hysteria pills or something by now?
Wow.
The cure for hysteria was found in like the 30s.
Yeah, it's called a lobotomy. Do you want me to give you one?
No, it's called a vibrator. Let's be honest. That's what it was.
Yeah.
No, it was something else.
Quaaludes?
Like I remember, I read the story in high school.
Okay, wait.
I wasn't thinking.
Okay, I'm trying to think. I'm actually trying to think with my medical history degree. Let's see.
Janera, I didn't know you had a medical history degree.
Huh?
You did. Yeah.
No, dude, I just like random knowledge.
Paul, please, literally.
Yo, you gotta chill out, bro.
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
too sober for this shit. And now I'm too sober and overstimmed, and this is weird.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, it's all cool. I'm just trying to be.
No, you're good. I thought now.
I got no eyebrows.
That's my bad.
Oh my god. This thing warned me and told me that I might want to make an extra one.
An extra what?
An extra world, like a duplicate, because it might not act the same.
Wait, hold on. Didn't the host just say, "Hey, it's time to move over to
Discord"?
Yeah, I haven't seen y'all move though.
I have not moved because I'm probably going to bed right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I will shoot it to you later then. Lots of love. Sleep tight. And all that.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Hold on. I'm gonna disconnect you for the
My
algorithm.
BD is out of town.
Boop. All right. Love you, Lacey. Have fun. Good night. All right. You guys ready to head over?
Yeah, sure.
All right, see y'all in a second.
Arms of an angel fly away.